Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Online games. Super God level talent, 100 times the attributes. Chapter 81. Qin Fei has read the background stories of the gods. In the game, gods appeared in ancient times, and gradually faded out of people's sight over the course of time. Qin Fei was originally not interested in these. But there must be a reason for a Siat to mention it suddenly. You don't mean to say that the boss behind the Holy Sea, the God of Light, will directly come off the field to participate in the battle, right? Asiat nodded slightly. There are indeed records in ancient times. Since ancient times, the strongest existence that can be recorded is the angel. Among them, the most recorded. He is an angel of light who drives away darkness for people. 4-turn hero. 7 turns of angels. Is the difference big? Qin Fei's current strength. It can be said that except for the heroes of the Holy Sea who are a bit difficult to deal with, the other heroes can be fought head-on. But Asiat, he is a legendary mage and sage, and his strength is only one level higher than that of a hero. But why? Qin Fei still feels that this sage is very powerful and cannot understand him at all. You are familiar with the Demon Clan, right? The Demon Clan's Legion commander is a level 130 hero. Do you think it would be troublesome to kill him in his heyday? No trouble, it can be solved with one move of annihilation. Asiat replied. What about the legend of the Demon Clan? Qin Fei asked again. It's still annihilation with one move. Question mark. Qin Fei thought he was bragging a bit. You are also a legend, are you sure? Snort. Asiat snorted coldly. How can the peak legend's star mystery technique be compared to other legends? Not to mention, I was holding the star key and the omniscient scroll at the time, and I was only one ingredient short of being able to break through the demigods. Qin Fei raised the corner of his mouth. What about the bone demon? Asiat was stunned, gritted his teeth and said, the bone demon, when his body is in hell, his vitality and magic power are almost unlimited. Even in the human world, he can extract the dark power of hell at any time. During that dark invasion, the 4 major legions of the Empire were almost completely wiped out. The Judgment Legion was almost completely wiped out. More than half of the people were reduced to bones. But the prayers of the Holy See and all the people did not call for the arrival of the Angel of Light. If you can buy me some more time in that battle, after I break through the demigods, even the bone demon can be beaten back to hell. See it, he has no good impression of the Holy See. At the same time, his reputation is so high, it seems, because the Holy See did not exert its due effect in that battle. He, at the cost of his life, forcibly sealed the bone demon and ended the war. With a human body, stand shoulder to shoulder with the gods. At the same time, Qin Fei also roughly deduced it. The career promotion route of the gods becomes more difficult in the later stages, and the gap becomes larger. Let's talk about the reliable first. What is the actual gap between heroes and legends? Asiat didn't quite understand his question and said bluntly. The gap between heroes themselves is very big, and there is no comparison with legends. A successful awakening, breaking through level 100, is barely considered a hero, but the level limit is only raised to level 130. At this time, he must upgrade all his skills to full level before he can start to move towards level 150 and start trying for the second awakening. You will not be promoted to the legendary profession until you finally complete the legendary trial. If you include the 3 awakenings and the peak trial in the legendary stage, the gap is even more unimaginable to ordinary people. Understood. Qin Fei really understood this time. Before the 3rd turn, it was level 30 every time. After the 3rd turn, the master level increased by 10 levels, which is used for awakening. The 4th level hero has 10 more levels for a total of 20 levels of secondary awakening. The 5th level legend, on the basis of the 3 awakenings and the peak trial, also needs a threshold that gives Asiat a headache in order to break through to demigods. Legend. It is the pinnacle of mankind. Demigod. Even though it's only half of it, it's still God. Far from comparable to humans. In his heyday, Asiat might have been qualified to compete with normal demigods. But the heel bone demon, a very special and strongest demigod, still had no chance to fight. Let's get down to business. Qin Fei probably just needs to figure out the strength of the Holy See. NPCs among the gods instinctively fear the gods. But if I come from another world, who cares whether he is a god or not? Just do it and it's done. How to proceed with the second job transfer of the Shadow of Innocence, the mysterious method of the star, and the multi-dimensional archer. Asiat was slightly surprised and said, so fast. How long have I been in the diary? 2 or 3 days, it's already considered slow. Qin Fei waved his hand. Question mark, question mark, question mark. 1 turn was completed in 2 or 3 days. No. Did you really kill the demon army by yourself? Hiss. Asiat's Shin Dao Empire is so strong now, does it still need to worry about the Holy See? The star mystic technique was originally looking for the city in the sky, but if I'm here, just come to me. I have no choice about the multi-dimensional shooter. If the Empire does not have this profession now, it will need to find high-level elves to change professions. Shadow of Innocence. You need to go to the Dead Realm to find the Sin Absolution demon hidden in the darkness. It will guide you to the Sin Absolution Temple to change jobs. Drop. You get the second mission. Go to the Temple of Absolution. Goal. Go to any dead area, find the Sin Absolution demon, and go to the Sin Absolution Temple. Reward. Second level career skills. Death Swamp. That's just right. Let's go with the mission to find Orana and solve it together. Qin Fei took out the talent magic pattern. Do you know this thing? Asiat glanced at it and muttered. Well, the magic pattern is still at a rare level. After absorbing the talent, integrate it into your chest and you can use it. But be careful, anyone can only use 1 talent magic pattern. This magic pattern cannot be removed. If you want to replace it, you must use a higher level magic pattern. Qin Fei nodded. It's not a problem that it can't be removed after use. What I want to know is, if you want to achieve a magic consumption of more than 3000 points per second, which one is more suitable, magic stealing or magic pattern? Asiat did not hesitate. The main damage is magic, so use magic patterns. If not, then use magic to steal it. The talent of the human race is very poor, and the effects that magic patterns can bring are independent and cannot be wasted just because of a little consumption of magic. Future awakenings will become more difficult every time. The effect of 1 more rare talent is almost impossible to make up for from other places. Even if you have dual careers, you can't waste it. Really, Qin Fei himself didn't think it was necessary. The magic pattern talent is still based on attributes. The more attributes, the better. If you really can't find a good one, then consider cooperating with Junzu Bo. Last question. How to obtain more than 1000 points of physical attributes in the first or second stage? As soon as these words came out, Dongfang Bailey, Yaoer, and even Lin Shiqi became nervous. Asiat shook his head. Almost impossible. Physique is one of the most difficult attributes for humans to obtain. Qin Fei quickly added, I didn't say anything about me, what about others? Asiat looked around. The warriors of the Beast Tribe and the Demon Tribe have very high physical fitness. The elves are a little better than humans, but it is not easy. There's no such thing as a constitution magic stone. Just increase it by a few hundred points. Qin Fei frowned. Have. Asiat said calmly. The fruit of life, all attributes will be increased by 100 points. But this is something that every profession needs to awaken. It is very rare. If the quality of the life fruit is higher, a certain attribute will be increased separately, and the single attribute will be improved by about 300 to 500 points. Fruit of life, wild forest. Qin Fei cursed secretly in his heart. Obulos is so dark. He asked me for props of this level at the beginning. Asiat shook his head and said, I'm afraid I can't find such a good life fruit in the wild forest. If it's the Elf King's court, I hope it will be better. Depend on. You may not be able to find it in the wild forest yet. Still have to go to the Elf King's court. Qin Fei thinks. If you really have that time, can you not collect more than 1000 points by working hard on leveling up, acquiring equipment and gems? No, it doesn't have to be the Elf King's court. The demons have controlled the wild forest for so long, so they must have some inventory, right? Wouldn't it be more convenient to go directly to Thrax in the hinterland of the demon clan and start looting? Let's wait until we get to the wild forest. After all, Anaya is still there to lead the way, which is more reliable than going to the Elf King's court. Now, the fruit of life is no longer needed by Bai Li and Yaoer, but also by Qin Fei himself. 100 points for all attributes. That's 10,000. If it is added alone, the effect will be even more explosive, and you can easily get a physique of 35,000 to 50,000. That guy might even be able with the Vatican. Let's go to the death swamp first. I'll go to the second round and you guys will be responsible for looking for Orana. Qin Fei was not in a hurry to leave, but now he had to hurry up. No hurry. Asiat walked up to Bai Li and raised his hand to attract a few rays of starlight, helping him to successfully turn around again. The skills and gems are well chosen. What a pity. In my current state, I can't use the star mysterious technique skills for the time being, nor can I teach you normal mage skills. Phew. Asiat took a long breath and continued. The star mystery technique is not a profession that comes from the continent of Epihia itself. You may understand the difficulty of its professional journey, but you must remember what I am going to say next. Stargate teleportation. The teleportation distance of this skill is almost unlimited, and can even cross planes, so don't use it indiscriminately, otherwise once you are teleported to an unknown area or plane, death will be the lightest. The biggest fear is getting lost and never finding the way back. And the power of the skills after the third transformation of the star mystic technique is very terrifying. Except for annihilation, which can be controlled through proficiency, other skills should not be released in the city, otherwise the cost will be very heavy. As for the Stargate, if you want to use it, you must know the complete 4-dimensional coordinates of the transmission target point. Remember, it's the 4th dimension. It is not the 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional coordinates commonly used in the Empire. Now, you use your skills, and I'll tell you the coordinates of the Death Swamp. Dongfang Baili was stunned for a while before she realized. Oh, okay. Next, Dongfang Baili guides skills under the guidance of Asiat. As magic and starlight converge, a star door as bright as crystal glass slowly emerged in the room. Qin Fei was not in the mood to watch the door. He was thinking about something. If the Stargate can be transported to another plane, doesn't it mean that this gate can directly lead to the real world? Then what kind of boundary breaking stone is needed to gain attributes? I sent all the characters back directly. I am invincible. The only problem is, if the characters of the gods return to reality, what would be the state of people in reality? Thinking about it still makes me feel a little numb. New number. Don't mess around. It's better to slowly pile up the cracks to make it more stable. Click. The Stargate unfolds. Lin Shichi looked at Qin Fei. Should I go too? Asiat is your summoned spirit. What will he do if you don't go? Qin Fei also has his own mission and doesn't have time to lead them. You are going there. There are a lot of things I need in the dead realm. Well, no, you need those things to strengthen me. Asiat was a summoned spirit for the first time, but he was still a little confused. But, as a summoned spirit, you in turn guide your master to strengthen yourself. You are also the first of its kind, right? Everyone formed a team and entered the Stargate one by one. The next second, before us was a swamp full of darkness and miasma. It's obviously daytime, but the sky here is as dark as night. Quiet, dead silence. You even feel any signs of living beings. The Death Swamp has expanded a lot over the years. I remember this coordinate. It should be outside the swamp. Asiat said to himself. Drop. You have entered a special area. Teleportation props are prohibited in this area. Your defense and resistance, affected by the area, are decreasing. Qin Fei secretly said. The Stargate is still in its mouth. It was clearly a forbidden area, but she teleported indirectly. But that's right. The Stargate can even travel to other worlds casually, but where else can't it go? Fincto. Qin Fei waved his hand to summon the snow eagle beast. Bai Li, Yaoer, Yuan, follow Shishi's team to look for traces of Olawana first. If she is alive, then you can collect materials together and wait for me. I'm fast on my own. I'll come back to you after I change jobs. Arrangements completed, but Shengguan Yao hugged Qin Fei. Yaoer wants to team up with brother. Dongfang Baili thought for a while and said, flying mounts are convenient for searching, but it is really inconvenient to bring one more person. Asiat is a dark spirit. He can float with his master and does not need a mount. Okay, then be careful. Qin Fei didn't want to waste time, otherwise the death penalty would be doubled after death, so it would be safer to act together. But, with the completely blackened Asiat following the two of them, the Dark Death Realm is similar to him returning home, right? Coupled with his personal disciple Bai Li, even if he encounters the Empire's pursuit team, he should be able to solve it. You want to change jobs yourself. Asiat obviously hopes to find Orana earlier and understand the current situation of the Empire. The Sin Absolution demon is usually hidden in the depths of darkness. It itself has no ability to attack. In addition to guiding people to the Temple of Sin Absolution, its greatest use is to forgive the sins in the hearts of other living beings. But the price of cleansing sin is often a more thorough fall into sin. So, the places where it often appears will naturally be surrounded by many monsters, and these monsters are often crazier and more evil than normal monsters. Follow. Asiat used magic to draw a map. This is the swamp map in my memory. It is not necessarily correct, and it is relatively simple. You only take it as a reference, don't believe everything. Good. This task prompt is really professional. Qin Fei knew the direction he was looking for and had a map, so he immediately turned over and stepped onto Hanyan. As a nocturnal beast, the speed of cold flame is slightly reduced in swamp terrain, but it has no impact. The two teams separated. Bai Li and the others must return to the edge of the swamp to find the traces of Orana's escape. Qin Fei took the map and headed deep into the swamp. Hehe. Shangguan Yao was extremely happy. Obviously a team of people came over and they were all busy with tasks, but she was the only one who was fine. Qin Fei suddenly wanted to understand. Yes, you are fine, why are you running here? Woohoo. Shangguan Yao's face changed faster than turning the pages of a book. After saying a sentence, tears fell down. Brother, don't you dislike Yaoer? Puff. Fairy question. Qin Fei didn't have time to speak. Shangguan Yao lowered her head and sobbed. Well, Yaoer knows that Sister Shishi is my brother's girlfriend, right? Bai Li told you. Qin Fei couldn't help but frown. Didn't she promise to keep it a secret? Sister Li didn't say anything. Yaoer could see it herself. The more Shangguan Yao talked, the more little pearls fell out. Yaoer doesn't understand anything and only knows how to mess around. She can't compare to Sister Shishi for sure. Yaoer won't argue with her sister. Woo. But brother, can you not throw away Yaoer? Woo. Yaoer will definitely not make brother angry. If Yaoer does something wrong, my brother can tell me and Yaoer will change, really. Qin Fei was speechless and immediately reached out and rubbed her little head angrily a few times. What are you thinking about? Have you watched too many palace battle dramas? It's not like that. Shangguan Yao buried her head in Qin Fei's arms. Brother already has a girlfriend, Yaoer. Yaoer should leave. But Yaoer doesn't want to leave. While talking, Shangguan Yao's jewel-like eyes, tinged with tears, filled with heartbeat and expectation, met Qin Fei's eyes. Hey, Qin Fei sighed. He really didn't know whether to call her sensible or not. If you don't want to leave, don't leave. No one will force you. Yaoer likes her brother the most. Shangguan Yao's tears turned into laughter in an instant, and her two cute elf ears suddenly stood up. The little head is pressed against the shoulder, rubbing back and forth happily. Qin Fei turned his head. However, when I saw a pointed ear with white and red skin, like a freshly peeled peach, I couldn't help but. Shangguan Yao's delicate body trembled. His whole body trembled slightly. In the blink of an eye, pink peach blossoms appeared on the snow-colored skin. The cold flames advanced rapidly in the death swamp. Shangguan Yao finally calmed down. Don't cry. No more fuss. Qin Fei faced the map and rushed into the darkness. Swamp in front of you. There is no more light. With the experience of the last exploration, I went out this time with a light magic stone in my bag. The level is very low, there are no special effects, the only function is to light up. But the miasma in the swamp seems to absorb light. At this moment, relying on the magic stone, it only illuminates a distance of 3 meters around it. Far away, from time to time, blood-red light spots flickered. Label by map. The monsters in the swamp are at least level 50. All are active attack types. Many of these monsters go out in groups to hunt any moving objects they see, including monsters of the same type. Dead zone. There shouldn't have been any living beings passing by. The special materials and props produced in the dead zone are often of extraordinary value. A large number of adventurers come in groups every year. Besides, the experience value of monsters in the dead area is also far higher than that in other areas. At the same time, Holy Empire, Hutton Federation, Demon Tribe. The three parties regularly organize third-level teams to crusade against the Dead Realm every year. If you don't care about these monsters, the Dead Zone will continue to expand with the development of time. Finally, the Dark Dead Realm will swallow up everything around it, even entire countries and continents. Beautiful country, Pentagon. Holder's eyes could spit fire when he saw the document he had just received. How dare they refuse to hand over their equipment? Boom. Holder punched the computer screen. In the gods' rankings shown above, Evans has dropped to 6th place. Just surpassed by Germany's Natural Call. General, do we really want to start a war? His subordinate asked cautiously. Are you an idiot? Holder gritted his teeth and said, only the president can decide on starting a war. We are only responsible for reporting. But even if there is no war this time, we must at least unite all members of the G20 to impose the most severe sanctions on the Dragon Kingdom. Snort. Without the G20's import and export trade, and then kicking them out of the international financial system, I want to see if the gods who can't feed back items and props can keep them going. And, Holder turned to look at the big screen in the distance. Live screen, clearly from the gods. In a snowy mountain, hundreds of players are performing magic rhythmically. In the hall, the angry howls of monsters could be heard from time to time. Evans, how long will it take to win the second boss? Ignoring the boss's burst when his health is low, we can defeat him in about 15 to 20 minutes. Snort. Good. Holder's eyes finally showed a hint of pride. Dragon Kingdom and Fatian Emperor, they don't know how to play games at all. The Empire, Federation, Orcs, and Demons are all affiliated to NPC forces. Even if you succeed in the cross-level challenge and receive rewards, they will not be counted as boss. You think you are invincible just because you get the first kill. Ignorance. I don't think they know how to play the game at all. Wait, then, when Irwin succeeds in slaying the second boss of the snake, when the sanctions are implemented, and when the global blockade is imposed, it will be time for you to cry. Death Swamp. The flying blades flickered like streams of light, rapidly traveling through the miasmatic darkness. Wherever you go, the blood-red eyes then went out. Drop. You defeated the swamp demon butterfly. You have gained 5080 experience points. Special area bonus. You gain an additional 1524 experience points. Drop. You defeated the dark serpent. You have gained 6122 experience points. Special area bonus. You gain an additional 1836 experience points. Qin Fei rode Han Yan, and the flying blades in his hands shot out one after another. Obviously, in order to save magic, the frequency of skill output is controlled. Even so, the experience value prompts in my ears also kept ringing. Compared to previous battles, it's definitely far worse. 1 million experience points per hour is probably a bit high. Qin Fei really doesn't like it. But, if you don't kill, he couldn't tell the status of the monsters, and he couldn't tell whether there was a sin-absolving demon hidden around them. So, we can only use the simplest and most troublesome method to clear it all the way. Ouch! An angry howl suddenly sounded behind Qin Fei. Turn around and look. I saw a pair of terrifying eyes as big as lanterns, penetrating through the layers of miasma, staring at me fiercely. It's pretty meaty. What about the boss? Qin Fei is not in any state now, and the flying blade damage is more than 60,000. Monsters above level 50 have a minimum health value of more than 300,000. So, as long as 8 flying blades line up to kill each other, basically no monster will survive. The one in front of me obviously has more than 1 million. Either the level is extremely high, above level 60, and has the strength of level 3. Or it can only be boss. You're here, let's kill him before we leave. Qin Fei ran for a long time and had no clue. He simply pulled the reins and turned back. Boom, boom, boom. The monster howled crazily in the miasma and made a huge bombardment at the same time. Qin Figuan didn't care and threw out nearly 100 flying blades. Chua! A row of flying blades shot straight towards the monster. In the dark swamp, flying blades connected in a straight line were like jets of aurora, striking the monster in front steadily. Minus 62,300. Minus 67,500. Minus 128,800 crit. The damage from nearly 100 flying blades exploded in layers. 8.1 million. Now, Chin Fei also happened to drive Hanyan to the monster. Swamp Troll. 2 thick thighs were firmly inserted into the swamp, with only most of the body exposed, which was more than 10 meters high. The dark green skin is covered with corroded pustules, and the huge head carried on the shoulders is bloated, ugly, disgusting, and nauseating. On the chest, a glaring hole. Those were the traces left by hundreds of flying blades passing through. You don't even have 10 million health points, how dare you yell at me? Who gave you the courage? Chin Fei shook his head helplessly. Drop. You defeated the swamp troll. You have gained 320,000 experience points. Special area bonus, you gain an additional 96,000 experience points. Chin Fei saw that the other party was really disgusting, so he summoned the black dragon and asked it to pick up the gold coins. System notification. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, is the first to defeat the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 10,000, holy relic treasure chest x1, epic gems x1, and rare magic stones x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, is the first to defeat the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 10,000, holy relic treasure chest x1, epic gems x1, and rare magic stones x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, is the first to defeat the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 10,000, a holy relic treasure chest x1, an epic gem x1, and a rare magic stone x1. Beautiful country, Pentagon. Holder had just received the coffee and was about to enjoy the beautiful scene of Evans killing the boss, but snapped. The coffee fell to the ground hard. Asshole. Who the hell told me that Fatian Emperor buys cars and picks up girls in reality and doesn't pay attention to the game at all? Who the hell guarantees me that the Fatian Emperor found a few beauties at the Azte Hotel and played in darkness without even leaving the house? Who on earth lied about military information? Sacred relic treasure chest. Epic gem. What the hell? The reward for the second boss is actually better than killing the hero. Chin Fei himself was stunned when he saw the reward. Shangguan Yao blinked and thought. Among the rewards directly distributed by the gods, boss gives the best. The direct rewards for NPC forces will be slightly worse, but the difficulty will be higher. If the demons are also considered as NPC forces, then the rewards are indeed poor and the difficulty is high. Why? Chin Fei wondered. Is it because the game doesn't encourage players to NPCs? Shangguan Yao shook his head hard. No, NPC forces are usually involved in tasks. If you have the strength to compete with NPCs, you can get many hidden rewards that boss cannot give. For example, things like reputation. No matter how specific it is, Yao doesn't know it very well. Prestige. Chin Fei remembered the previous kill announcement. If it is not overstepping the level, even if the master or hero is killed, there may not even be an announcement. Can be obtained. Only the drop income after killing. But his previous 2 over-level kills had missions. Master Nuck is because of Orana's hidden mission. The demon hero Bentley has legion missions, and can even be regarded as Orana's hidden mission branch. The actual rewards obtained twice together are not as high as the level of the holy relic treasure chest. But the task gained progress. At the same time, he also won the title of Hero of the Empire. This is something that ordinary boss cannot give at all. Same. The Holy See will not be afraid of being in public just because it has killed a few bosses. Put it this way, killing the boss is mainly aimed at rewarding the player's own strength. Killing NPCs is mainly aimed at rewards for increasing player power. Hiss. So, will the third turn boss reward be given directly to the artifact? Chin Fei feels that the possibility is really high. The rewards for the second level boss are much higher than those for the first level boss. The biggest treasure chest reward remains unchanged. 3 turns. There should be changes. After all, the third level is fully achieved, but he has the strength of a master level. Let's go inside and see if there is a third level boss. Chin Fei is not in a hurry to change jobs now. Let's get the boss rewards first. At this moment, another reminder came to my ears. System notification. Beautiful country player, Carl Evans, leads the team to defeat the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magic stones x1. Players and gods are a little devastated. Even if Fatian Emperor kills the boss, you will kill him too. It turns out that I thought the game was too difficult. Everyone except Fatian Emperor was miserable and couldn't kill the boss. Did not expect. I'm the only clown. You can really kill the boss, but I can only kill slimes. Dragon Kingdom base. Why is Evans so fast? Before the Eastern War could celebrate, they realized something was wrong. What's going on over there in Mu Qiancheng? Where's the progress? The staff replied immediately. Mu Ju's team has just arrived at the second turn boss area and is cleaning up the surrounding mobs. It is estimated that it will take another 2 hours before the official attack can begin. Well, before the end of today, there is still hope that we can kill the second level boss. Very promising. That's a little difficult. Hearing this, Dongfang Zhan inevitably wanted to get angry. Fatian Emperor doesn't sell equipment, but didn't we agree with him to borrow 30 sets for 2 days? You actually use it. It's so much slower than Evans. It's easier for me to tell you. How do you explain it to Mu Bureau? Well, the staff member was full of embarrassment. War Commander, the current progress is already the result of renting equipment. If we don't have the Legion uniforms, Mu Bureau will have to clear out the mobs only until tomorrow. Dongfang Zhan suspected that he heard wrongly, and immediately pointed to the big screen and said, "Come on, tell me, Evans' team has no equipment, how can they kill the boss?" For that matter, the staff at the base really have something to say. War Master, you know the advantages of the beautiful country. In addition to having a lot of money, they are also very powerful. Look at this data. From last night to today, except for Fatian Emperor, the entire gods have produced about 1,200–1,500 pieces of magic equipment. Nothing wrong. Eastern War feels very reasonable. There are too many players in gods. Especially national forces and large groups are equipped with a large number of game warehouses. These teams have full battery life in the early stage and can level up and spawn monsters much faster than ordinary people. Coupled with their internal testing experience and team advantages, they can definitely get magic equipment. It's just difficult and there are few explosions. Maybe a team can only produce a few items a day. Enough for one person is nonsense. Not to mention a team, or even a boss attack team of hundreds or thousands of people. But there are so many teams that you can't handle it. Think globally. There are at least 1,000 top internal testing teams equipped with game warehouses. Including the team of ordinary players who stayed awake for a few days before the server was launched, the number was even more terrifying. Thousands of magic equipment are produced every day. War Commander, you know the financial strength of beautiful country. They control everything with money and information. The staff continued. So as long as these more than 1,000 pieces of equipment appear on the market, they will most likely flow into the hands of beautiful countries. Even if they don't go to the market to sell the equipment, they can still get it. After all, apart from us, an ice bear, which other country, which group company, and who dares to say no to the beautiful country? They can even rob it openly, let alone buy or borrow it to defeat the boss. Dongfang suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. You mean, if it weren't for Fatian Emperor, we would have been defeated like dogs by now? You can't say that. After all, with our strength, it is no problem to take second place and be a few blocks behind the country behind us. The staff was inconsiderate, but if we want to compete with a beautiful country, there is nothing we can do. They are playing in the pure Krypton gold model among the gods. If you have played ordinary games, you will know that the power of the Kryptonian man is almost invincible. Now he can not only make money, but he can also suppress all other money-making guys, and concentrate all the advantages of most countries and group companies into his own hands. If you chase, you will definitely not be able to catch up. This is in the early planning, haven't we already anticipated it? Hiss. Dongfang Zhan understood why he was angry. Fatian Emperor raised his expectations too high. Under normal circumstances, the beautiful country's Evans leads the rest of the team by default. And more people are leading, which is also the default. After all, he took away almost all the magic equipment from all countries and large groups, and just focused on fighting the boss himself. In other countries, there are not as many high-level players as him, and their equipment is even worse. Even taking a look at the boss is a crime. Think of this. Dongfang Zhan immediately dialed the tone. Hey, good daughter, are you busy? Busy, busy. If you're busy, you have to listen to me. Dongfang Zan gritted his teeth and said with a smile, with your current strength, is it possible to deal with the second-level boss? Killing. Dongfang Baili was originally looking for someone, but he encountered a giant swamp snake on the way. Now he had a flying mount, plus the sage summoner Lin Shichi, so he naturally wanted to kill it first. Ha ha ha, okay, as expected of my daughter Dongfang Zan. Dongfang Zanzui smiled crookedly. By the way, let's talk to Fatian Emperor and ask him to get more rewards. He becomes the boss in seconds, isn't that as easy as drinking water? You are a fool if you don't make money. Besides, once we have collected all the rewards, the rest of the countries will not be able to collect them. Hehe, you'd better give me all the top 10 rewards. Leave none behind. His grandmas. Although the top 10 rewards are not as good as Fatian Emperor's first kill. But those are also rare treasure chests and rare gems. These things fall into the hands of other countries. It's basically like falling into the hands of a beautiful country. When the time comes, fight for the third boss. A beautiful country wants to take on other countries by a huge margin, so what the hell is that? Death Swamp. A giant three-cornered snake covered in pure black scales was twisting crazily in the swamp, flicking its tail, and trying to escape. Can you run away? Asiat snorted coldly and pointed with one hand. Whoosh! Two dark auras rose from the swamp and instantly formed two chains. Wow! The dark chains wrapped around the giant snake and locked it to death with almost no effort. It's now, exploding flying star. Good. Dongfang Baili concentrated his skills for a long time and finally took action. Boom. There is no stagnation, no time to accumulate energy. The flying star hit the giant snake's head like a meteor and exploded on the spot. Minus 183,000. Minus 183,000. Minus 183,000. 6 consecutive injuries directly destroyed 1/3 of the giant snake's health bar. Ha! Dongfang Baili let out a long sigh. It feels like a teacher teaching me, but it's different. If it hadn't been for Asiat's guidance, she didn't know how many times she would have had to experiment before she could understand that the exploding flying star could be charged in advance, or even charged multiple times to increase the number of damage stages. Now, her skill proficiency gains rate skyrocketed. The power has increased more than 10 times. And this is not the limit of skill opening. Her flying star is still far away from what Asiat said. The other side, Asiat floated down on top of the giant snake. Phew, his right hand was inserted directly into the wound on the giant snake's head. The next second, all the flesh and blood of the giant swamp snake was burned by the flames of hell, but it strangely did not struggle. At the same time, wisps of blue aura floated out of the giant snake's head and slowly blended into Asiat's arms. That's the soul of the giant snake. Dongfang Baili couldn't help but frown. Soon, the soul of the giant snake was extracted by Asiat, condensed in the palm of his hand, and turned into a small orchid magic stone. Hey, darkness is the abyss. Once you step in, you can never look back. Asiat sighed secretly and threw the magic stone to Lin Shichi with his backhand. In addition to wisdom, the spirit summoned by darkness can only be improved by soul magic stones and soul-based equipment. Although this soul magic stone is of average quality, it is enough to temporarily restore me to the strength of a master. You should keep it first. I will tell you when I need to use it. Lin Shichi said in confusion. Teacher Asiat, can't you use the magic stone yourself? Asiat is dead, please call me Horn outside from now on. Asiat explained. As a summoned spirit, I myself cannot be promoted. Only when you are promoted can I follow you. Quote. I just checked the giant snake's soul by the way. It seems to have seen a human team passing by. Let's go to the north and have a look. Hiss. Can you still view soul memories? Dongfang Baili was shocked again. The strength of this sage is probably more terrifying than that of myself and Shichi combined. System notification. Dragon Kingdom player, Bai Li, leads the team to defeat the boss-level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magical magic stones x1. Question mark. Qin Fei heard the announcement and immediately sent a message to Bai Li. Didn't you go on a mission? Yeah, I just saw a boss on the way. Asiat said he wanted to kill it to extract the materials, so he took care of it. Dongfang Bailey reminded. By the way, the rewards for the second boss can be killed repeatedly. There seem to be a lot of BOSSs in the swamp. Why not get the rewards before changing jobs? Depend on. Didn't you tell me earlier? Qin Fei just passed by a group of monsters that looked like the second level boss, but he didn't bother to look back, and ran all the way to the third level boss. Dongfang Bailey's beautiful eyes turned and she said tactfully, I thought of what I wanted to say this morning, but that person didn't open his mouth at all. Hiss. Qin Fei immediately took a breath of cold air, gritted his teeth and said, okay, wait, we will talk in the evening. The next second, Qin Fei turned around and went back to kill him. 2 minutes later, system notification. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, defeats the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magic stones x1. The players among the gods were immediately speechless. What are you doing? Just a few minutes after getting the first kill, another one was killed. Do we have to kill them all? Can't you just leave one for me? I'll keep it for you, but you can't kill it, right? If you can't kill him, you still have to let me see what the boss looks like, right? What the? No matter how many years I have been playing the game, I have never seen anything like the boss. Has Fatian Emperor started a live broadcast? I want to take a look, just take a look. The sudden announcement immediately put pressure on the team that was attacking the boss. What the hell? He's not collecting rewards, right? If we let him finish it, wouldn't it mean that we would suffer an explosion if we spend so much money to attack it? Hurry. Kill quickly. Don't save all the potions, give me all the skills. System notification. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, defeats the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magic stones x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, defeats the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magic stones x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, defeats the boss level boss 2 turns and will be rewarded with gold coins x 1000, rare treasure chest x1, rare gems x1, and magic stones x1. Within 10 minutes, system announcements are as crazy as asking for money. Have you finished brushing? Well, I finished brushing. 10 rewards are the limit of the system, but not the limit of Fatian Emperor. I was wiped. If I give him a reward of 10,000 times, I'm really afraid that he will kill 10,000 bosses a day. Be bold, don't be afraid. There are only 10,000 bosses. Fatian Emperor can still kill them all if he works overtime. Hutton Federation, Blazing Basin. Hundreds of players from Dragon Kingdom are working hard to clear the massive fire. A woman with outstanding figure, beautiful eyes like stars and eyebrows like swords. His figure was seen flowing gracefully among the monsters. A single person holding a sword can deal thousands of points of damage every time he takes a shot. Especially the frequency of critical strikes is as high as 30%. Even a fire beast of more than 20 levels could not last for less than a minute under her hands. Ju, the rewards have been used up, do we still need to speed up the progress now? Base. Qiancheng sheathed his sword with his backhand, and said quietly. Let's attack the difficulties normally, don't waste medicine, and minimize casualties. Okay. The team members immediately went to adjust the battle arrangements. Qiancheng couldn't help but said in his heart. Where did Fatian Emperor come from? Can he really overwhelm a national level resource team by himself? Beautiful country, Pentagon, General. Now the representatives of the Five Eyes Alliance are protesting to us, saying that we took away the equipment, which caused their attack to slow down and they did not receive the reward. Holder's forehead darkened. Fart. The speed at which Fatian Emperor collects rewards, even if they have 1,000 more pieces of equipment, they won't be able to catch up. Roll. Tell them to get out. Dragon Kingdom base. Dongfang Zan is a bit numb. Good guy, I'm asking you to get rewards. But aren't you brushing it a little too fast? You have wiped away all the rewards in our reservation. The staff reminded awkwardly. Commander, Ju is online too. Ding. The war in the east is really going to be dizzy now. With his current strength, he really doesn't need to whisper when talking to anyone. But Mu Qiancheng is different. Director of National Security, the eldest sister of the Dragon Group. Even the red ones turn purple. She is always a sideways figure in Zonghai. 4 words. No one dares to mess with you. Tell her that I'm in a meeting. I'm not here. Dongfang Zan knew that it was not a good thing without even thinking about it, so he ran away first. Death Swamp. Open the box, open the box. Shangguan Yao held a bunch of treasure boxes in his hands and didn't know which one to open. You open the rare box first. After Qin Fei finished speaking, he looked at other rewards. Excellent prestige. Fan, a leader, will never let his comrades down. Anyone with authority will never let his comrades suffer. Level. Epic. The effect of aura skills from teammates is increased by 100%. The damage of summoned creatures from teammates is increased by 100%. The duration of status skills from teammates is increased by 100%. You cannot use aura skills. You will bear 50% of your teammates' damage. An epic gem with such a unique effect. Although Qin Fei does not have Halo skills. But we also know that among all skills, Halo has the strongest improvement effect. Regardless of level, auras always provide a nice boost. If this improvement were doubled, it would indeed not be comparable to ordinary quality equipment. Such as the Blessing of Light. If the effect of that abnormal skill is doubled and the duration is doubled. Hiss. Explode. As for the unique negative effects of gems, Qin Fei thought it was still acceptable. After all, with his own attributes, he already has 100,000 health points and has to bear 50% of his teammates' damage. Isn't that easy? Let's wait until there is a halo before testing the effect. Soul Magic Stone. Quality. Rare. Increase base soul power by 100 points. Increase soul strength by 50%. Lasts 360 seconds. Depend on. Ajit has become a summoning spirit and you came here. But, if the soul magic stone had been found earlier, he wouldn't have become a summoned spirit, right? Qin Fei put the gems away. It's better not to let Asiat see this thing, otherwise he will probably explode. Although the other rare gems have good attributes, Qin Fei has no need for them, so he should leave them alone for now. As for magic quality magic stones, 3 of them are blue returning, and 4 of them are elemental magic stones. Powerful magic stone. Increase wisdom by 30%. Increases the magic recovery effect by 300%, lasting 270 seconds. Qin Fei came all the way and didn't even bother to kill the boss, just because he didn't want to waste too much magic value. Without magic stones, relying solely on potions and natural recovery is a drop in the bucket. The current panel magic value is more than 35,000 points. It seems like a lot. But all the rewards from the round just now were used up, and I haven't even gotten back half yet. Now that there are 3 powerful magic stones as a foundation, I can barely get out of my way. Brother, look, Yaoer has a pet again. Shangguan Yao excitedly held a translucent ghost wolf and said excitedly. Ghost wolf. Grade. Rare. Type. Growth pet pickup, combat. Current level. 0. Attack. 100. Defense. 100. HP. 300. Skill. Pickup can pick up silver coins, gold coins, scrolls, gems. Time of the hunt level 30 comprehension. Moment of anger level 100 comprehension. Call of the wolves level 200 comprehension. It has good attributes, and it can also pick up money. You can play with it yourself. Qin Fei already has a black dragon, so naturally he doesn't need another pickup pet. Ouch. Shangguan Yao made 2 small hands like claws, whined at Qin Fei, turned around and pounced on him. Okay. Qin Fei smiled and rubbed her head. There is also a treasure chest of holy relics. Do you want to open it? Shangguan Yao shook his head in his ear. Still can't open it. The rare treasure chest just now only has 1 pet, and the rest are weapons. There are no good things. It's okay. The sacred relics are guaranteed. No matter how bad they are still sacred objects. Mwah. Shangguan Yao nodded his head sideways and said happily, Yaoer's luck has been left to her brother. It's better for her to do it herself. Fine. Treasure chest of holy relics. Even if you don't open garbage, just not using this is enough to make your mentality explode. It's really not easy to drive. Qin Fei didn't care and had a good attitude. Anything is acceptable, but don't drive pets and mounts, they are really good. Click. Rays of golden light shot out from the box. Although this is the second time I have unboxed it. But the effect of the holy relic is still so exaggerated. Wait for the golden light to dissipate. Qin Fei looked inside the box, his eyebrows raised involuntarily. Ah. Or gloves. The charm of lavender. Translucent. Even the special shape is exactly the same as that of the thief. If there is a difference. There is probably no difference. Depend on. It's not like two thieves are really going to do it, right? After Qin Fei took out the gloves, he immediately checked the attributes. The evil of thieves. Hey, what's the most disgusting attack by a thief? Even if it is a god, I will hate him to death. Grade. Sacred artifact. Requirements. Thief. Can steal any target. Any weapon you equip is treated as a dagger. Any throwing skills you use are treated as melee attacks. Any throwing skills you use are treated as evil attacks. Any weapon you can use can be stored in extreme evil. Save up to 5 weapons. Throwable 1, empty. Throwable 2, empty. Throw 3, empty. Throwable 4, empty. Throwable 5, empty. Ah, this. Qin Fei noticed at first sight that it might be the thief's ultimate intention, and his heart exploded. After all, I already have one, wouldn't it be a waste to have another? And this level of heaven-defying props. You can't even sell it for a bit, it can only be used as a collection. Then, when taking out gloves, Qin Fei suddenly thought that it would be okay to open another picture. After all, there are 5 more loot slots. As a result, when I finally opened the properties, I found that it was not the case. What's going on? The most evil thing about thieves. And it's also disgusting and evil. Really boring. Without thinking, Qin Fei knew that these 2 pairs of gloves were definitely made by the same thief. The weapon is a dagger. Has no meaning. Don't assassin-type passive skills provide bonuses to weapons other than daggers? So what? Can't I use a dagger? As for all the throwing skills below, they are of little significance when used in close combat. Etc. Does throwing skills not count as melee combat? Qin Fei saw this attribute and realized that it should be good. Then my flying blade must be a throwing skill, right? That is to say, even if I learn to boil my blood before and put on the hot blood suit, the attack range will not change. These gloves seem to be of some use. Qin Fei said he was a little confused about the attributes and the space for the projectile at the back. Yaoer, where was the weapon you fired just now? Qin Fei himself came without weapons, and he didn't have time to change into the demon army uniform. So far, he still uses the sword of the garrison army. Sword of Driss. Grade. Rare. Requirements. Level 30. Attack power. 280. Armor break. 150. Strength. 25. Constitution. 10. This sword has the teachings of Driss, and the attack power of melee skills is increased by 10%. This one. Qin Fei put the weapon into the throwing object column, put on his gloves, and checked the panel. No change. The throwing object column does not count as the weapon I am equipped with. Since it's not a weapon, can it still be considered a projectile? Qin Fei casually threw out the flying blade. Chua. 2 completely different rays of light flew out at the same time. The azure halo is the Legion's sword. Another light golden flying blade aperture can only be Sword of Driss. Hiss. Qin Fei immediately took a breath of cold air. What the hell? You actually have such perverted equipment. All throwing skills are regarded as extremely evil attacks. Qin Fei only needs to use the flying blade now. All the throwing objects in extremely evil will be triggered an attack at the same time. Stored weapons. No basic attributes are added. However, additional special effects are in effect. The damage caused by the Sword of Driss is exactly 10% higher than that of the Legion Saber. All up. Ice War Spear. Grade. Rare. Requirements. Level 30. Attack power. 270. Strength. 22. Agility. 18. Your attacks take 10% additional ice damage. Shield of Pain. Grade. Rare. Requirements. Level 30. Defense. 310. Dodge. -120. All elemental resistance. 12%. Attacks hitting this shield have a 30% chance of being reflected for 10 points of damage. Kalamazoo Giant Axe. Grade: Rare. Requirements: Level 30. Attack: 550. Strength: 10%. Under Kalamazoo's blessing, your attack skills have a 30% chance of causing a crushing effect. Stand of Night. Grade: Rare. Requirements: Level 30. Attack power: 220. Wisdom: 35. Under Night, the damage of your dark attribute skills increases by 30%. In order to collect 5 weapons, Qin Fei even threw in his war staff and shield. Snapped. A slight flick of his right hand. 5 completely different rays of light flew out of his hand in an instant. The Kalamazoo axe is the longest and naturally has the largest rotating aperture. Pain is a round thorn shield, so the aperture is the smallest. The aperture range of War Spear and War Battle is similar. But the War Spear comes with ice attribute attacks, which are the most brilliant, while the War Spear is hidden in the darkness and is difficult to find. Boom! Qin Fei took action with all his strength. Suddenly there were hundreds of flying blades blasting around. Between breaths, the number of flying blades stacked up to more than 400. In a trance, the brilliance of the flying blade almost covered the entire swamp within a radius of 300 meters. Ha 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 ha, it's cool. Qin Fei really wanted to laugh. One Piece, top 5 pieces. That effect. Still unhappy. Please tell me, under what circumstances, the damage ability can be increased 5 times instantly? Answer. One more glove. The evil of thieves. Compared with the gods, it is indeed a bit ridiculous. But for beings below gods. Violent killing. A complete violent killing. Qin Fei's attributes and skills are no different from before in any aspect. Only the ability to deal output and damage has been increased 5 times. Say it without expansion. With the strength of the leader of the Hot-Blooded Legion, Bentley, it would be a sin to even look at the flying blade. Boom! Qin Fei galloped on Hanyan. Hundreds of flying blades. Harvesting everything in the swamp ruthlessly. An active monster. Die. An active dead wood. Broken. Wherever Qin Fei passed, there was nothing higher than 1 meter. Drop. Your magic points are exhausted and you enter the mana exhaustion state. Question mark question mark question mark. What's the situation? Qin Fei was stunned. Where is my more than 30,000 magic points? Where is this? Let's look at the magic value. All empty. Not a bit left. On the contrary, I have an additional negative state. The magic is drying up. All skills cannot be used, and natural magic recovery is stagnant for 30 seconds. No way. The throwing objects in the gloves will also consume my magic points, right? The corners of Qin Fei's mouth were a little twisted. Originally, the magic value was a bit insufficient. Now, once consumed, it can be used 6 times. The flying blade consumption after the stack is full. More than 16,000 magic points. With Qin Fei's current magic value. Up to the sky, you can only throw it once and push it again. Fear. Except for thieves, no one can sustain this level of consumption. Demonic energy theft. You need to hurry up and go to the second round. If the second turn still doesn't work, then the only way is to rely on magic patterns. Suddenly, a dark shadow flashed before Qin Fei's eyes. Jihieji. In a trance, black shadows floated in the air, constantly changing shapes, appearing neither human nor ghosts. Qin Fei was about to use the flying blade, but found that he couldn't use the skill. Opposite, the twisted eyes of the black shadow stared deeply at Qin Fei and continued. The creatures of Epihia are born with sin. It's just that every creature's sin is different. But your sin seems a little special. Qin Fei's hand that drew the sword suddenly paused. The black shadow laughed strangely and then said, "Young human being, your sins don't seem to need my forgiveness. But there is a place that I think you will be interested in. The Temple of the Absolution." Qin Fei finally remembered that this was the mission NPC. Good guy. It almost killed him. Yes, please come with me. The black shadow turned around. In the swamp, a dark vortex twisted out of thin air. Portal. Qin Fei rushed into the whirlpool with cold flames. The next second, he and Yaoer appeared in an empty hall. Drop. You found the Temple of Absolution. Jihieji. The black shadow looked at Qin Fei with a treacherous smile. Young man, this time, let's just say it's the first time we met. Next time, if you don't have 3 dark magic stones of epic level or above, I won't open the door for you anymore. Certainly, the lives of 100,000 innocent people can also replace 1 dark magic stone. Depend on. Qin Fei thought that the third transformation process of Shadow of Innocence was simpler. Did not expect. There is still a threshold. What makes you an innocent person? Qin Fei doesn't know what to do with the magic stone now. The only way is through system rewards. But the system has never rewarded epic magic stones so far. He wants 3 pills at once, isn't that nonsense? Every creature is guilty, it's just a question of how much. Creatures with a sin value lower than 100 are obviously not suitable for survival. You should help them wake up earlier. Okay. Qin Fei secretly thought that this should be the second way to complete the task, and directly agreed. Drop. You have obtained the mission, eliminate evil. Goal. Kill 100,000 creatures with a sin value of less than 100 points. Reward. Epic Dark Magic Stone X1. 100,000. This amount is indeed a bit scary. Even if you have a flying blade, it will probably take a long time to brush it. The key is, there are also requirements for the sin value, which cannot be higher than 100 points. Monster. Can their sin value be lower? Demons, beasts. Can the guilt value be lower? Player. Unless you are a novice, it is difficult. That is to say, cities in the Empire and Federation have a large number of innocent NPCs. Tisk. That may require killing NPCs in several cities before there is any hope. It's dark enough. Qin Fei secretly said. Temple of the Absolution. Are you sure it's not called the Temple of Sin? Jihieji. Young elf, if you keep your sins in your heart, your burden will only get heavier. Ah, Shangguan Yao pointed to herself with a confused expression. Are you talking about me? Since you can come to the Temple of the Absolution, I can also eliminate your sins for free. Without waiting for Shangguan Yao to answer, the Black Shadow waved his arm directly. The next second, a few icy dark breaths emerged directly from Shangguan Yao's heart, penetrated into the Black Shadow's body and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Step out of the temple and you can return to the Death Swamp. Jihieji, I always have endless sins. So, see you next time. Finished. The Black Shadow twisted into a whirlpool and left the hall. No, I have to look for a job transfer myself. Qin Fei shook his head helplessly. The Sin Absolver should be a special NPC. Except for the Shadow of Innocence. Ordinary players can also find it to eliminate sin points. Certainly, according to Asiat, there is a price for letting it eliminate evil, and the result may be even more evil and madness. Etc. Qin Fei immediately grabbed Shangguan Yao and looked at her carefully. Are you okay? It's okay. Shangguan Yao's gem-like eyes are purer than before, so pure that they don't contain a single flaw and are perfect. Brother has a girlfriend, but does that have anything to do with Yao liking him? Ah, what did you say? As soon as Qin Fei felt relieved, she ended up saying nothing. The next second, Shangguan Yao bit her lip lightly, her beautiful eyes sparkling and her eyes rippled like silk as she said. Yao just likes my brother. What's wrong with Yao? Follow closely. Shangguan Yao's little hand touched the void a few times. Hula, all Legion suits have landed. The elves, original clothing, a tight-fitting silk skirt as white as snow, also slipped off under the waves of Shangguan Yao's fingers. Pure, immaculate, perfect, even the most popular works of art are not worth 1/3 of this beautiful picture. Hiss, Qin Fei really couldn't understand now and shouted in a deep voice. Wake up, what did that Black Shadow take away just now? Shangguan Yao ignored Qin Fei's shouts, pressed her body softly against Qin Fei's chest, and breathed out. No matter if my brother has a girlfriend or not. Yao is all innocent, an elf with graceful curves. A sincere heart, as warm as fire. A pair of small hands, searching up and down. But those jerky movements never found the point, couldn't grasp the key, and couldn't open up the situation. Hiss, such a perfect spirit carved by heaven. It is really impossible not to make people feel pity for them. No one would hold back and not give advice. Drop. Stay time in the Temple of Absolution, 59 minutes remaining. Is there any time limit? It's only 59 minutes, too short. Qin Fei secretly said. At this time, I really look down on others. Let's change jobs first. Ha, Ha! As they rubbed their ears and temples together, they hummed a few times, Yower wants it now. Depend on. Qin Fei sighed secretly and shook his head slightly. He reached out with his backhand and held him in his arms. The next second, Qin Fei took her and rushed towards the interior of the temple. Go around the main hall. It was a black metal gate blocking the front. Those who are guilty are prohibited from entering. Qin Fei pushed open the metal door with one hand without even thinking about it. Crunch. The pervasive dark atmosphere rushed towards my face. What appeared in front of Qin Fei was a lightless aisle. There is no illumination. Across the aisle, a dozen or so vague black shadows disappeared into deeper darkness the moment the door opened. Qin Fei took the bright magic stone. Click. The moment the magic stone appeared in the aisle, it shattered on the spot. As a thief, you have to get used to fighting in the dark. Let me see if you have the talent to become a god of thief. It's different from the sin absolver with a strange tone. The sound echoing in the passage is hoarse, vicissitudes of life, and ancient, but you can feel that there is a hint of mechanical inflexibility in it. Drop. Clear the first floor of the Temple of Absolution and complete the job transfer mission. A reminder rang in Qin Fei's ears. You still have to fight, and within an hour. As soon as possible, Qin Fei took out the powerful magic stone and used it directly, and the magic value began to recover quickly. The black shadows that disappeared just now are not all the same innocent shadow assassins, are they? There is no light, in pure darkness, playing an assassination game with a dozen innocent shadows. Is it necessary? Ha ha ha. Qin Fei laughed happily and pushed with one hand. Boom. Hundreds of flying blades were blasted directly into the passage at a fan-shaped angle. Sword of Driss, Ice Spear, Shield of Pain, Great Axe of Kalamazoo, Staff of Night, plus Legion Knife. Far beyond the previous attack range of a single flying blade. As the saying goes, if it is poor, the tactics will be interspersed. If you are rich, your firepower will be covered. However, hundreds of flying blades cut through the passage that was more than 10 meters wide. Super high attack speed. Just a flash. Hundreds of flying blades reached the end of the passage. Puff puff. More than a dozen piles of blood bloomed out of thin air in the passage. Minus 72,100. Minus 78,020. Dodge. Minus 75,020. Minus 141,200 crit. Qin Fei raised his eyebrows in surprise. There are still some who can dodge. Drop. You defeated the Shadow Assassin, turn 2. You have gained 6,000 experience points. All of your Shadow of Innocence skills will gain 1,000 points of proficiency improvement. Proficiency. This is the first time Qin Fei has obtained it from killing monsters. Job transfer trial. It seems there are still some hidden rewards. 5 skills, gaining 5,000 proficiency points, that is 50,000 experience points. Hiss. Temple of the Absolution. Are you a bit generous? If you do this every day, then you are not allowed to take off, right? Qin Fei kept moving his hands and once again blasted the flying blade into the passage. Only, when attacking this time, they did not all attack in a straight line, but were divided into 6 levels, upper, middle and lower, and blasted out randomly. The assassin on the opposite side, even a pinball, couldn't evade such a density of attacks. After all, in this channel, there is no difference between flying blade throwing and laser cutting. Anyone who faces the flying blade in the passage may only feel one word, despair. Ding dang dang. A large number of flying blades hit the passage wall. But there were more flying blades piercing through the Shadow Assassin's body. Minus 75,100. Minus 82,020. Minus 156,000 crit. Drop. You defeated the Shadow Assassin, turn 2. You have gained 3,000 experience points. All of your Shadow of Innocence skills will gain 1,000 points of proficiency improvement. The prompts sound continuously. It wasn't until there was no more blood splashing out of the passage that Qin Fei rushed into the passage. Crunch. The floor under Qin Fei's feet suddenly sank, and hundreds of finger-thick holes were instantly exposed on the walls on both sides. Swish swish. Hundreds of crossbow arrows were shot directly from the small hole. Trap. Qin Fei was very fast. He started with a jumping slash and rushed directly to the end of the passage. Do you want to challenge a dozen second-level assassins in the first-level stage, and at the same time have to deal with various traps? Isn't the difficulty of the job transfer trial a bit abnormal? A normal assassin would probably have no chance of making a mistake here. Certainly, Qin Fei didn't care. If there wasn't an elf in his arms, he could step on the trap sideways and then walk over. In front of you, at the end of the passage, there are two roads, one on the left and one on the right. It is unclear what is inside, and there is no map. Time is limited. Rush. Qin Fei took hundreds of flying blades behind him and rushed in without caring about any trap assassins. Chua, chua, chua. Qin Fei controlled the flying blade to continuously throw it around. It doesn't matter how good the assassin's stealth is. Indiscriminate coverage attack. Can't escape. Qin Fei went on a killing spree along the way. In passages, rooms, traps, wherever there was space, flying blades were everywhere. Proficiency soars. Guilty sneaking, ambush, and stealing have all been upgraded to 1 level. Dead end. Qin Fei fought his way all the way, only to find that the road was blocked. Depend on. Fight with zeal. Violent. Qin Fei lost his temper and turned around to kill him faster. The dead shadow assassin is not refreshed, but the trap is still rattling. Dodge. Dodge. -804. Even Qin Fei couldn't dodge all the dense traps and arrows. But most traps deal physical damage and cannot deal much damage. Soon, Qin Fei killed the other one and then discovered that there was a mechanism knob at the end of both roads. Crunch, crunch. Qin Fei started moving, and a mechanical sound came from the wall at the end. Got. Still waiting to look back. If the old man Asiat didn't say anything, he might have never been here. If you don't talk about the forgiveness of sins, Chun Chun is just a trap. It only said it was free this time, but it didn't say it would be free again if it failed, right? When you fail, come back next time and reach out to find 3 epic magic stones. Good guy. This business was completely destroyed by him. Crunch, crack. The wall at the end slowly opened amid the sound of machinery. Qin Fei entered the room. Facing the front is another metal gate. Anyone who is not guilty can enter only after reaching the 2nd level. Left side of the room. It's a statue. Not high, probably just over 2 meters. The whole body of the statue is hidden under a black cloak, and the race and face cannot be seen clearly. Qin Fei came to the statue. Boom! A dark aura erupted from the statue's body. Congratulations, you have officially become a member of the Innocents. Drop. You have completed your 2nd job transfer. You have obtained advanced skills, Innocence Dagger. You have obtained advanced skills, the Innocent Person. You have obtained advanced skills, Sinless Absorption. Drop. You have obtained a rare job change item Shadow of Innocence. System notification. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, quickly clears the 2nd job transfer trial, fierce battle difficulty, and will be rewarded with reputation x 10,000, gold coins x 10,000, powerful skill breakthrough scroll x1, and skill boundary breaking stone x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, quickly clears the 2nd job transfer trial, fierce battle difficulty, and will be rewarded with reputation x 10,000, gold coins x 10,000, powerful skill breakthrough scroll x1, and skill boundary breaking stone x1. Dragon Kingdom player, Fatian Emperor, quickly clears the 2nd job transfer trial, fierce battle difficulty, and will be rewarded with reputation x 10,000, gold coins x 10,000, powerful skill breakthrough scroll x1, and skill boundary breaking stone x1. Reasonable. The players among the gods are almost numb. If he wasn't a 2nd turner, could he still be my 2nd turner? The issue is, what is the skill boundary breaking stone? I know the words, reward, why can't I understand them when they are put together? There were otherworldly attributes before, but now they are otherworldly skills. No way, aren't ordinary skills still used in other worlds? Players don't understand, but none of the gods from all over the world understand this. Don't you think of ways to avoid taking the exam when changing jobs for the 2nd time? That level of difficulty is simply not something that a single player can pass. Novice Village normal difficulty. The monsters around the city are of normal difficulty. The demon battlefield is nothing but difficult difficulty. The difficulty of these areas is all optional and can be reasonably avoided or teamed up to reduce the difficulty. But the 2nd round trial is a standard single-player fierce battle difficulty. Are you kidding me? Faced with a dozen level 2 NPC experts, consider traps and mechanisms, and still have the same hidden profession, still want to clear the level. And it's also a speedrun. I have never dreamed of such nonsense. It's useless to think about all that. Find Fatian Emperor quickly and kill him. That's the real thing. When the skill boundary breaking stone is released, it is different from the attribute boundary breaking. Yes, I'm afraid that in a few days, we will be watching Superman on TikTok. HMPH, pray that Fatian Emperor will slow down. Otherwise, God will probably have to take action to have a chance to win. Beautiful country, Pentagon. Holder sat in front of the computer, his cheeks twitching slightly. In the screen, the Secretary of Defense, Vice President, Director of Intelligence, Chief of Staff to the President, President of the Senate and other senior officials were all present. The world's first superhuman cannot appear in the Dragon Kingdom. Holder, this is our bottom line. Yes, sir, we have obtained key information and are making full preparations. I believe there will be results within 24 hours. Holder assured. Don't tell me the process, I just want the result. Yes sir, there will definitely be a mission completion briefing tomorrow morning. Drop. End of the meeting. Holder looked at the rest of the people in the office and said harshly, everyone is dispatched. No matter what, we can't let Fatian Emperor see the sun tomorrow. Temple of the Absolution. Fierce battle difficulty. Is it hard? Qin Fei found it not difficult at all. Too easy. Qin Fei was even more surprised. By clearing the trial, you can directly obtain the Shadow of Innocence's job change props. Could it be that the inheritance of the Shadow of Innocence is a carrot and a pit? There are also breakthrough scrolls and skill boundary breaking stones, Let's look at the skills first and then talk about it. Innocence Dagger, Level 1, 0.50,000 powerful passive. When holding a dagger, the critical hit rate will be increased by 10% against targets with 100% health. When holding a dagger, increase critical hit damage by 100% against targets with health below 30%. When holding a dagger, the flying speed of thrown objects is increased by 50%. When holding a dagger, all elemental resistances increase by 10%. Good, I can't take off the extremely evil gloves now. Qin Fei sighed secretly. Only thieves understand thieves best. All weapons are regarded as daggers, which are simply bug attributes, perverted. The second, Innocent Person, Level 1, 0.50,000 powerful passive. You have a 10% chance to avoid damage from physical and magical hits. Your movement speed is increased by 30%. After killing the target, the effect of the Innocent Person is increased by 10%, up to 50%. After causing a critical hit, the effectiveness of the Innocent Person is increased by 10%, up to 50%. Hiss. 10% chance of avoiding injury. Qin Fei read it several times and finally confirmed it. It means absolutely no injury. Certainly, such continuous injuries as burning and poisoning are inevitable. But this is already very abnormal, right? The status is full. The initial level 1 effect has a 15% chance of being absolutely free of damage. This has to be reached to the full level, and it will be close to absolute invincibility. Compared with the defense and health of the warrior in the later stage, the mage can be called a terrifying barrier. The thief wants to live. Including this skill and dodge, it's all about luck. Qin Fei couldn't help but think of the guy who stole the goddess of luck again. Awesome. Mastering luck is really the core technology of thieves. The last one. In fact, it is the skill that Qin Fei needs most. Innocence Drainage, Level 1, 0.50,000 powerful passive. 1% of the damage you cause to the enemy will be absorbed as your own health. 1% of the damage you cause to the enemy will be absorbed as your own magic value. You will not absorb the enemy's negative status. Multiple extraction effects can take effect at the same time. The drain effect is restored proportionally within 10 seconds. The upper limit of a single draining effect is 5% of the enemy's health or magic value, and not greater than 5% of one's own health or magic value. Finally, I feel comfortable. Qin Fei let out a long breath. The magic recovery problem that has been bothering me for a few days and a half has been solved. Gods. The monster panels, NPCs, and players are all different. So, the monster's health value is very high, and the boss in 1 or 2 turns can easily have millions or tens of millions. Extract the benefits. Just calculate it as 1% of the damage value. One flying blade attack, causing about 80,000 damage. Restores 800 health points and mana within 10 seconds. 80 points per second. It seems to be disproportionate to my own consumption of more than 10,000 points per second. But it's not like Qin Fei only has one flying blade. Each shot must be at least 6. That is, every time you take a shot, you will get 480 points back in seconds. Still not enough. Then 500 flying knives. In Qin Fei's daily panel, the number of attacks per second is 38. If all hit, that's more than 18,000 points restored per second. Certainly, in full-state explosion, this value still seems a bit nervous. If we consider the hit rate of the flying blade, we may still need to rely on magic stones and instant recovery potions to avoid falling into a state of magic depletion. But flying blade is not a single-hit skill. The absorption effect can also take effect at the same time. Multiple hits, drawn many times. At that time, the 1% damage will no longer be considered. But the upper limit of absorption is 5%. Regardless of life, just count magic. Qin Fei's own 5% magic limit is 1750 points. Under extreme conditions, the total number of recoveries exceeded 1 million. The recovery volume per second exceeds 100,000. Hundreds of flying blades can completely cover the consumption without hitting all of them. Well, the only issue that needs to be considered now is whether there are enough monsters and whether they are tough enough. Qin Fei's hit rate will never be a problem. I'm afraid that if I attack with all my strength, the monster will be instantly killed, and it will be over without absorbing much at all. Or maybe it was the situation like the trial just now. There are few monsters, and the attack range must cover a large area, resulting in many flying blades being missed. Simply say, it is a battle with too low difficulty and cannot be used at full output. The higher the difficulty and the more monsters you fight, the less you have to worry about battery life. Just be careful and you should be fine. If it's not enough at critical moments, use magic stones and potions to make up for it. After Qin Fei confirmed that nothing was missing, he looked to the other side of the room. The vortex in the darkness seemed to be a traditional door. Just about to take a step, Yaoer in her arms gently tugged, and there was no trace of shyness in her bright eyes. Brother, is it okay now? This is not a question of whether or not. But what Qin Fei is thinking about now is, the sins extracted by the sin absolution demon have indeed affected your mental state, and you don't even know it yet. Gods. After the appearance of the boundary-breaking stone, it is no longer a simple game. To reality, this is a plane that exists in an unknown dimension. Judging from the status of logging into the game, without boundary-breaking props, it is almost impossible to affect reality. Only the soul. It seems to be unrestricted and can ignore the distance of the plane, directly affecting the player's soul or mental state. The sin absolution demon should have taken away the sin from Shangguan Yao's soul. Put it into reality to understand. It is equivalent to putting an ideological seal in the depths of Shangguan Yao's spirit. Right now, no matter what you do, it is reasonable, legal and guilt-free. The effect of this ideological stamp must vary from person to person. Shangguan Yao's nature is not bad, so even if all the restraints of sin are lifted, he will not do anything dangerous or too outrageous. But it's not dangerous at the moment, and Qin Fei can't just pretend it doesn't exist, let alone ignore it. Pa da, pa da. Shangguan Yao's shining tears couldn't help but fall down. Would Yaoer herself not know if something is wrong with Yaoer? Wu, brother, open your eyes and take a look. Yaoer doesn't believe it. Well, Shangguan Yao's thin lips were blocked instantly, her pupils trembled, and the flashing tears turned into joy in an instant. Shangguan Yao frowned, although she suppressed it as much as possible. But he still couldn't help it, and a cry came from deep in his throat. For a moment, Shangguan Yao's skin was frozen with a little bit of frost. The next second, it turned into a blazing flame. Hiss. Element properties. 2-level reversal. Is this attribute too strong? Qin Fei almost exploded on the spot. Follow closely. The gentle breeze swirled around Shangguan Yao. There are even tiny flashes of lightning that shuttle between them from time to time. Diverse shooter. Has all element attributes. At this moment, I lost control, and there was no regular change at all. From time to time, the 2 levels reverse with lightning. Pressure explosion. The difficulty is even more exaggerated than the previous fierce battles. Close to crazy. Qin Fei glanced at the panel subconsciously. Constitution, 21,560 points. Life, 65,200 points. Hiss. Qin Fei took a deep breath. Fortunately, there are so many attributes, otherwise the first round of elemental attacks would explode. Not to mention, now he fights continuously for more than 10 minutes with all attribute elements. Drop. Stay time in the Temple of Absolution, 29 minutes remaining. Is there still half an hour left? Tisk. I just said there wasn't enough time, right? Qin Fei secretly said. Fight with zeal. Violent. Full status. Qin Fei's attributes nearly doubled. An attack frequency of over 60 per second. Not to mention invincible. At least for now, no player can compete. Boom. A complete explosion. Collapse, only in an instant. Even the last hint of clarity in the elf's eyes completely disappeared. Drop. Stay time in the Temple of Absolution, 1 minute remaining. Phew. Qin Fei took a long breath. I started violently several times in a row and finally finished it within the time limit. Let's go. Shangguan Yao snorted angrily and nodded slightly. Change your equipment and step onto the cold flame. The temple gate is right in front of you. Qin Fei paused, his eyes stayed in the hall, as if he was thinking about something. Drop. Countdown to stay at the Temple of Absolution, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Who cares? Nothing as great as Qing Dynasty or Huahua University can be as bold as courage. Only those who dare to venture and do something will have a future. Qin Fei's heart skipped a beat, and he rushed towards the door with his cold flames, and at the same time, he slapped his left hand directly on the pillar of the hall. Steel. The next second, Qin Fei crossed the whirlpool and returned to the death swamp. Beep. Stealing successful. You have obtained the Temple of Absolution. Ha 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 ha. Qin Fei was stunned for a long time, and finally burst into laughter. The pardoner, right, you charge me a ticket, right? Come, is my money so easy to make? At the same time, dozens of black shadows in the 8 death realms stood still in place at the same time. Where's home? My family is gone. There was an indescribable horror in the eyes of the sin absolver. Could it be that the gods have begun to return? The 4th piece of loot. Temple of the Absolution. Before Qin Fei came, he had not thought of taking something with him, but he encountered an accident and wasted some time. I didn't have time to take a closer look at what else was in the temple. Simply, take away. If it fails, the price will definitely be quite serious. There is a 1/3 chance of losing Lady Luck's heart. But, how can you do something only to fail? If considered failure. That heart of the goddess of luck, I'm afraid I can't steal it in a million years, right? Steal the temple. The only thing you have to bet on is that the gods are not at home. Is the pardoner a god? Certainly not. It can even ask for bribes blatantly, so is it possible that the gods are at home? As long as it's not against gods. With the goddess of luck taking charge, Qin Fei felt that he had a greater chance of winning. Now that I have it, how do I use it? What Qin Fei wants is always based on quality, regardless of function. Good things must be good things. As for how good it is, we need to study it further. Try summoning the temple first. Qin Fei had a thought in his mind. And the temple remained motionless. Well, Qin Fei was a little embarrassed. How about taking a look at the panel first? Holy shit. You don't even show me the panel. Hiss. Isn't it really useless? No matter how high the grade of the temple is, it is still a dead thing. How about opening the door and letting me in? Qin Fei was really a little anxious. If you don't steal the Temple of Absolution, you can just find the Absolution demon when you change jobs in the future. But now, the temple was stolen. Even whether the sin absolver can return to the temple is unknown. Qin Fei no longer considered whether it could be used. It's a question of whether the function can be changed or not. At this time, a black vortex appeared in front of Qin Fei out of thin air. Okay, this is sure. Qin Fei took Yaoer into the Temple of Forgiveness once again. Shangguan Yao, who was leaning comfortably on Qin Fei's shoulder, suddenly became energetic when he saw the temple. Brother, Yaoer is okay. Puff. Qin Fei almost spit out. Don't make trouble, we have business to do later. Okay then. Shangguan Yao pursed her lips, obviously unwilling to do so. After a while, Qin Fei teleported back to the main hall from the room where he had just changed jobs. I tried several times to open the door back and forth between the swamp and the temple. Confirmed. There is nothing inside the temple. The assassins in the trial have not been refreshed. I don't know if it will be refreshed in the future, but it should be refreshed, otherwise the temple will only be able to provide one person with a job transfer. Moreover, if there may be other items, they can only be on the second floor. I finally got the temple, but now my income is 0. Of course not. Qin Fei can now go back and forth to the temple freely, saving a lot of epic magic stones alone. Not to mention that every time you change jobs, you don't need to go to the sin absolver to pay. On the other hand, all the sinless shadows among the gods must find themselves if they want to change their profession. Hehe. This ticket revenue alone is a very impressive figure. Another point. The space inside the temple is very considerable. The main hall is square and square. Except for the metal gate leading to the trial, there are 13 pillars on each of the other 3 sides. The distance between columns should be at least 10 meters. That is to say, the space of the main hall alone is 130 x 130 x 10 meters in size. An area of more than 10,000 square meters. Come and go as you please. So what is the difference between this and a space ring? It is indeed not as convenient to use as a space ring. But you can't stand it. It's so big, not to mention thousands of pieces of equipment, even an aircraft carrier can be stuffed into it. And people can enter the temple. Both players and NPCs can enter and exit. Certainly, there is a time limit for staying in the Temple of Absolution, up to 1 hour. Qin Fei tried it. He has no ability to change the Temple of Absolution itself. Otherwise, you can directly open all the doors to subsequent trials and change jobs in advance. Job transfer task completed. Not only was it done this time, but it will be done in the future. Qin Fei then sent a message. Bai Li, have you found the person? No, Dongfang Bai Li said helplessly. The scope of the death swamp is too large, and the miasma obscures the sight. Even the griffin cannot search very far. Send me the coordinates and the range you searched for. Qin Fei has no plans to meet up now. It will definitely be easier to find 2 groups of people. Good. Dongfang Bai Li sent the message. Just as Qin Fei was about to leave, the communication rang again. Nan Binger. Drop. Voice connection. Is something wrong? Before Qin Fei finished speaking, a cry came from the other side. Don't come over, they. What's the situation? Qin Fei frowned slightly and was about to ask a question when a deep man's voice came from the other side. Flying Emperor. Ha ha ha, long time no see, do you still remember me? Chapter 91. Moron. Who are you? Qin Fei looked at the friends column and saw that Nan Binger was offline. That is to say, the voice of the other party dialing in reality. Then who is this man? HMPH, you are such a noble person, how forgetful are you? Just kill me twice in the game. I didn't expect that you could coerce the 4 major banks to cut off my Linjiang Group's loan, which almost caused the efforts of 3 generations of my family to be wasted. Result, you actually said you forgot. Zhangxia. Qin Fei immediately thought about it. There really aren't many idiots of this level, so I won't forget him, but his voice is different from the one in the game. Follow closely. Qin Fei realized that something was wrong. Are you in reality still with Nan Binger? What's the meaning? Snort. Zhangxia gave a cold shout and said with a ferocious smile. What can I mean? You do your best. Do you still expect me to call you specifically to thank you? Tisk tisk. I have to say, your taste and vision are indeed good. Nan Binger's level is very high. I don't know how many levels higher than some of the little internet celebrities I've played with. Qin Fei was shocked and secretly thought something was wrong, but on the surface he remained calm and said calmly. I'm not very familiar with Nan Binger. But since you dare to kidnap such an official anchor in reality, you probably don't want to live anymore. Ha ha ha. Zhangxia couldn't help laughing wildly with pride. Stop pretending. If you don't want to touch Nan Binger, will you expose your identity because of her? They are all understanding people. Just don't play tricks with me. The person is in my hands. You have 1 hour to go to Linjiang Villa number 001 alone. Remember, go faster. She is still a baby now. If it goes slower, then I can't guarantee what condition she will be in by then. Also, I know you have a good relationship with the Dongfang family. If I know of any unusual maneuvers by the military and police, I guarantee you will be able to fish Nan Binger's fragments out of the river tomorrow. Ah, Qin Fei was also amused. An hour, right? Just wait. Hang up the voice. Qin Fei's first consideration was not to call the police. The position given by Zhang Sha is not necessarily correct, and the time is extremely stuck. The key is, he didn't know that Linjiang Group's loan was cut off, and he wasn't sure what impact it would have on Zhangxia. If an idiot goes crazy, who knows what he will do? Bai Li, were you the one who cut off Linjiang Group's loan? Qin Fei dialed the voice call with his backhand. I'm not sure. Dongfang Bai Li paused. I just mentioned it to my father. If you don't do it yourself, then there is a high probability. The Zhang family should be struggling to borrow money and repay the money right now. Could it be that there was an accident? Dongfang Bai Li thought about it and asked again. It's okay, I just wanted to ask how serious it can be to cut off the loan. Qin Fei did not say anything specific. The current situation is that Zhang Sha kidnapped Nan Binger and found herself. Look, he doesn't know his true identity. After all, even Nan Binger herself didn't know this. Just one Zhangxia. What equipment can he get in Dragon Kingdom? A low-power firearm. To be honest, ordinary people would not be able to die unless they were hit by 3 or 5 bullets, let alone themselves. So if Zhangxia is alone, Qin Fei really doesn't take it seriously. Dongfang Bai Li thought for a moment. Even if the gods don't show up, the real estate company's loan cessation will most likely lead to bankruptcy. But now, even if they go bankrupt, they still can't pay off the debt. Okay, I get it. Qin Fei hung up the communication and said secretly. If you can't pay off your debts, you will become a deadbeat. But if it is a company, there is a chance that it will run away. Zhang Sha's words just now clearly meant that he didn't plan to worry about repayment. In this situation, it is normal for anyone to want to go crazy and run away. Anyway, if you have too many debts and you are running away, do you still care about so much debt? If you add another condition, if the person involved, Zhang Sha, is that kind of idiot, then the probability of Nan Binger surviving is really not high. I'm hungry. I need to log off to eat. You can log off too. Qin Fei asked Yaoer to log off together. But, before going offline, Qin Fei directly used the skill boundary breaking stone. Drop. Innocent stealth successfully transformed into an alien skill. I originally wanted to play flying blades in reality. Now I can only prioritize sneaking. Return to the villa. The cars I bought were already parked at the door. The most eye-catching one is of course the 992 GT3 rupees. The black and white Le Mans track shooting style and the 4.0 horizontally opposed engine are almost purely built for the track. It accelerates from 0 to 100 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds. Certainly. Nowadays, this acceleration does not have many advantages compared with trams. But in terms of handling, rear acceleration and top speed, pure-blood track design is still not something that current electric cars can catch up with. When I bought this car, the salesperson introduced the driving features and functions. I don't know if it's because of the bonus of the wisdom attribute. Qin Fei didn't forget any details. Now he started to start the engine. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The roar of machinery inevitably makes people's blood swell. Especially now. Qin Fei clicked on the navigation, and after confirming the route, he entered ejection mode and was about to set off. Snapped. As the car door opened and closed, a dark figure sat on the passenger seat. Wearing a black special combat uniform and a full-coverage special combat helmet. The red flag is affixed to the left arm, and the golden dragon logo is affixed to the right arm. Look carefully again. This man was almost full of all kinds of weapon accessories, magazines, and all kinds of grenades. Visible to the naked eye, there are at least 3 guns. There is even a new rifle equipped with a high-power sight on the back. Such equipment can be said to be armed to the teeth. No need to think, either the military or the Dragon Group. Actually, Qin Fei was not too surprised. I still kept things simple on the day I bought the car. Even Zhang Sha confined herself. How could the military not find him? If they can't find it by now, that's the real deal. But, are you going too far? Qin Fei frowned and shouted coldly, I'm at the vegetable market. I come here when I ask, and I don't even say hello. Sorry, special moment. The voice of the man in black seemed to have been processed, giving it a hoarse electronic sound. But judging from her body shape and movements, she seems to be a woman. We are all members of the dragon team, so there is no need to worry about too many details, right? Just call me Qinglong. When Qin Fei heard this, 3 black lines appeared on his forehead. I don't know where the dragon group is, don't act too familiar, get off the car. Qinglong didn't care about Qin Fei's complaints and said bluntly, do you want to go out? I can handle anything for you, but you can't go out today. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Qin Fei didn't want to reveal his identity, and this was the most annoying thing. You still want to restrict my personal freedom? Qinglong explained. I told you, special moment. The intelligence department of the beautiful country has gone crazy. Their agents are almost fully mobilized now. Our manpower is limited and we can only track some of them. So, don't go out these days. I can handle anything. I mean, anything. Boom, boom, boom. Qin Fei tapped the navigation screen on the car. Come on, someone in this villa has been kidnapped. It's up to 30 minutes before the time requested by the other party. Now I want you to guarantee that her person is alive. Can you guarantee it? Quote. Qinglong's eyes flashed. This matter is obviously outside the scope of information channels. Linzhong Villa. Is it the Zhang family? The next second, Qinglong clicked on the display screen bound to his arm, and there was silence for a while. It's a little difficult. The Zhang family has always been a normal company and has no record of abnormal dealings with foreign forces. We have been tracking too many targets recently and it is impossible to take care of his level, so. Qin Fei rolled his eyes and said, I just want the result, can it be done, or can't it be? Qinglong's eyes darkened. I can only promise to do my best to rescue him. Of course, if I can't save him, then it's useless for you to go. Get out of the car. Qin Fei was too lazy to talk nonsense. Quote. Qinglong was speechless for a moment, then said, if you go out now, you will die. Do you understand? Snort. Qin Fei smiled, with a sharp look in his eyes. I only know that if you don't get out of the car, you are the one who will die. You. Qinglong was stunned for a moment. What the other party said sounded like a joke made by Ang Jiho. At any time before, she would never have believed it. But today, the aura that erupted all over this man's body was something that even she couldn't suppress. Years of life and death. It brought her nothing but experience. It's more about the sensitivity between life and death. If you don't get off the car, Fatian Emperor really knows how to take action. With his boundary-breaking stone. If used in full, it would most likely have exceeded human limits. Don't talk about body armor. Even a 10-centimeter alloy steel plate may not be able to block his attack 100%. Think of this. Qinglong's heart skipped a beat, and he reached out to untie his combat uniform. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. What are you doing? Qin Fei was already a little unable to suppress his anger, but this move made him instantly embarrassed. Just say it. What does it mean to take off your equipment when you get in the car? I didn't turn on the air conditioner. Or, supercars have built-in air conditioning properties, so do they have to take off the equipment when they get on the road? Here, this is a special body armor. Qinglong handed over the equipment, leaving only a tactical vest. It's amazing. She has been through life and death all year round, but her skin is as delicate as snow and can be maintained. But the horrific scar on his left chest could obviously only be caused by a large caliber bullet. Such a stark contrast. It can't help but shock people's hearts. I know you have reported a lot of attributes, but you also need to know that bullets don't have eyes. Qinglong added. Qin Fei was a little angry at first, but the other party didn't mean it, and she was just an executor. No need. Equipment will only arouse the other party's vigilance and cause more unnecessary trouble. Qin Fei glanced at her. Let me say this for the last time, don't touch your people, otherwise if something happens to them, I will never be able to spare you. Qinglong paused for a moment and put on his equipment with his backhand. The rest of you can stay still, but I have an order and must follow you. Here, this is a hidden special communicator. The range is 10 kilometers, just stick it behind your ear, and the battery can last for a week. If it's just one person and you're not following a car, there's no problem. That's it, stay away. After Qin Fei finished speaking, he picked up the communicator and put it behind his ear. The specially made material almost blended with his skin color. Buzz. The engine roared, and the vehicle accelerated and rushed out. Qin Fei was in a hurry. But you won't run red lights continuously. That would only cause greater disturbance and expose it to the eyes of more foreign agents. Riverside Villa. The distance is about 10 kilometers. Fortunately, many people are among the gods now, so there is no traffic jam. Otherwise, 1 hour may not be enough to get to the place. 2 days ago, the military came forward to cut off the Linjiang Group's loan. On the surface, they were borrowing funds everywhere, but secretly they were selling off assets, buying gold coins, and preparing to flee abroad. Qin Fei heard Qinglong's voice. Zhang Xia himself had 3 vicious criminal records, but the victims were all reconciled with the financial resources of the Zhang family. Data shows that Zhang Xia has firearms in his hands. The number is unknown and the channel is unknown, but he can at least arm more than 10 members. I must responsibly remind you that a rescue mission like this without sufficient preparation has a very low success rate. Reality is not a game or a movie. If you send it over so generously, the other party will not only not be able to negotiate but will directly kill you. Just because it is reality, life is more precious. Qin Fei secretly said, I don't want to die in the game, let alone in reality. I don't even want to die, let alone a person who is implicated for no reason. The success rate of what you do is very high. But I just want to ask, can life be converted into success rate? The success rate of rescue is not high. Just wait. Just check it out. Do you think this is a kidnapping game? You wait, you check. The kidnapper opposite who is ready to run away, even crazy, will definitely play with you. If it's an ordinary kidnapping, the robbers want money, ransom, and all kinds of escape tools. With the chips in your hand, you can naturally talk to the other party. But Zhangxia, one is not short of money, and the other is not short of escape tools. What leverage do you use to negotiate with the other party? Qinglong was silent for a moment. Time passes minute by minute. Qin Fei overtook other cars on the elevated road and would soon arrive at Linjiang Villa. Drop. The message came to my ears again. I just called the satellite urgently and took a photo of the villa. The situation is not optimistic. The gangsters have tied the target in the back garden. AI analysis shows that the hostages may have bombs on them, and the kidnappers have prepared a helicopter themselves. Qin Fei's eyebrows suddenly tightened. In the photo, Nan Binger was locked in a stainless steel cage, and the unknown object on her body was most likely a bomb. This way, the possibility of sneaking in and directly solving Zhang Xia is almost zero. Because I don't know the model of the bomb. I don't know how to trigger it either. Killing Zhang Xia and threatening Zhang Xia cannot completely guarantee Nan Binger's safety for a person who is so crazy. Qin Fei is not a professional, let alone defusing bombs. Face this tricky situation. Even if all members of the Dragon team are dispatched in the Qinglong secret attack, the survival rate of the hostages will not be higher than 30%. Kidnappers. It was obviously a trap set according to the superhuman identity after Fatian Emperor's attribute feedback. The bomb has a time limit, and there won't be many visual inspections. Even if it's too late to mobilize personnel now, why don't I go? Qin Fei. No need. Upon hearing this, Qinglong couldn't help but raise his voice and said, then what are you going to do? Kill. Qin Fei uttered one word coldly. G. The vehicle stopped at the entrance of villa number 001. The 2 burly men guarding the door saw the person getting out of the car and shouted, Hey, are you Fatian Emperor? Qin Fei said nothing and walked straight towards the other party. When the 2 big men saw that each other didn't reply, they immediately turned cold and said, I'm asking you a question. The next second, Qin Fei stepped forward. The right fist goes straight forward, as fast as lightning. In a blink, Qin Fei's right fist hit the big man's face on the right with great precision. Boom! The big man's head exploded like a watermelon under a press without any buffering force. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Such a frightening scene immediately stunned the man next to him. His brain shut down and he had no idea what was happening. To know The maximum strength of the human skull is 500 kilograms. Qin Fei now has 2,000 points of power. A force of over 6,000 kilograms. Any punch. It's not something humans can bear. Qin Fei not only has high strength, but also has higher agility. When the punch was successful, he immediately retreated, and in the blink of an eye, he punched the big man on the left again in the head. Boom! Another head exploded, causing patches of Qin Fei's white sportswear to turn bright red. Inside the villa, several men were chatting and laughing while staring at the surveillance camera a second ago. See it the next second. After Qin Fei got out of the car, his body swayed and two black shadows came out. This was followed by two bangs. The heads of the two companions exploded on the spot, and even the surveillance camera was stained red by the blood. What the hell? What's the situation? Why is there an anti-materiel sniper rifle? Apart from anti-materiel weapons, they really couldn't imagine anything with such terrifying power. Plop, plop. Qin Fei's heartbeat accelerated and his adrenaline surged. Although the gods are 100% simulated, whether they kill monsters or kill people, the effect is the same as reality. But killing people in reality is different after all. Phew. Qin Fei let out a sigh, and with his extraordinary physique and wisdom, he suppressed his emotional fluctuations, rushed to the door of the villa, raised his leg and kicked him. Boom. The door collapsed to pieces on the spot. At the same time, the situation inside the villa was immediately clear. The entrance hall is unguarded. Come to think of it, I didn't know Qin Fei would come so quickly. I didn't even expect that he would kill someone unreasonably and rush in directly. At this time, 3 men in the living room were still smoking, drinking and playing cards. Gaze across the living room, balcony, to the swimming pool and back garden. With his extraordinary eyesight, Qin Fei could clearly see the huge iron cage placed in the back garden. There's more than one. There are 3 floors inside and outside the iron cage. Large on the outside and small on the inside, nested in this way. The largest iron cage is more than 5 meters in diameter, and the smallest is 2 meters in diameter. The stainless steel alloy welded to the iron cage is each thicker than a finger, and it is definitely not the kind of hollow material used for home decoration. Look carefully again. In the innermost iron cage, Nan Binger was tied to the seat. But she had a bomb strapped to her chest and a large number of steel balls wrapped in tape. Red countdown on bomb. Measured in milliseconds, beating rapidly. Explosive distance. 8 minutes to go. Nan Binger saw Qin Fei faster than anyone else and reacted faster. But her mouth was tied with tape and she couldn't speak. She could only struggle like crazy and scream. I just hope Qin Fei can understand her eyes. Let's go. You uncle. The 3 men in the living room discovered Qin Fei. They cursed angrily and subconsciously grabbed the pistol on the coffee table. But Qin Fei would never give them time. A step forward and he rushed to the middle of the living room, and he lifted his leg and made a sweep. Snapped. The 2 people were directly cut off at the waist by this leg, and were cut in half on the spot. The other man's hand had just grasped the gun. Qin Fei spun around in the air, slashed with his left foot, and hit him directly on the top of his head. Boom. The man's head immediately smashed into the coffee table and hit the floor. Only one body of the person was left on the ground, while his head was mixed with the glass shards of the coffee table and left under the floor. Qin Fei didn't even look at the firearms on the ground. With a sway of his feet, he arrived in the back garden. Now, except Nan Binger in the iron cage, there was actually a helicopter parked by the swimming pool on the left. Zhang Sha, on the other hand, was leaning on the seat, holding a mobile phone in one hand and a loudspeaker in the other. Tisk tisk tisk. You really reported the attributes. Zhang Sha's voice came through the loudspeaker. At the same time, the helicopter also started on the spot. Swish swish. The fan blades are whirling. Ha ha ha, don't move. Zhang Sha shook her phone in advance and said with a ferocious smile. You came very quickly. There are still 8 minutes left for the bomb. But, if I'm unhappy, or if I die, the bomb will explode. Heart rate bombs used to be difficult to make, but now with smart watches, it's really easy. You can try it. Qin Fei looked cold and said nothing. Ha ha ha. Zhang Sha burst into laughter and pointed her cell phone camera at the 2 of them. The Fatian emperor who controls the wind and rain in the game is just a college student in ordinary clothes in reality. Tamad, what are you and this young master pretending to be? Click. The helicopter and 2 heavy machine guns were aimed at Qin Fei. Now in front of the entire internet audience, don't say that this young master bullied you. I'll give you 2 choices. 1, you die. 2, she dies. Choose. You have 60 seconds to think about it. If you don't choose when the time comes, then you have to look at my 3rd option. Zhang Sha just finished speaking. The helicopter buzzed and turned on its afterburner, slowly taking off. The other side, Qinglong shouted urgently into the communicator. I'll cover your retreat, it's still too late. This man is crazy. The 12.7mm M2 heavy machine gun, with bullets of this caliber, can't even withstand ordinary armored vehicles. Where did he get it from? In Nan Binger's live broadcast room. Countless spectators saw this shocking scene and were so frightened that they dared not speak. What the hell? The anchor is making a movie, isn't he serious? It must be fake. In the real world, building bombs and heavy machine guns, what the hell is that? Haha, today's anchors all have work, maybe even the character of the dog licker in the prosperous age is a script. Hiss, that's what I say, but it seems so true. Especially Nan Binger's look, my heart breaks when I see it. If she acted in this, I wouldn't even watch the Oscars this year without her. But regardless of whether it's true or not, I think we should try calling the police first. Riverside Villa. The helicopter slowly took off, and Zhang Sha laughed wildly in the air. Say something. Ha 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 ha, aren't you crazy? Why can't you even say anything now? You won't say it, right? Come on, let me give your slut a bonus first. Zhang Sha put down the loudspeaker, reached out and took out a golden desert eagle. Inside the communicator, Qinglong couldn't help but said, if he gets a gun, I have to take action. You're here, right? Qin Fei finally spoke. Moments of life and death. Inexperienced people even have their brains shut down and have no idea what to do. Of course Qin Fei didn't crash, he was just thinking about whether there was a safer way. But the result is, no. If Zhangsha's helicopter wants to leave, you should find a way to keep it, and don't worry about the rest. After Qin Fei finished speaking, his whole person disappeared into the air. Question mark question mark question mark. Zhang Sha on the helicopter, the killer manipulating the heavy machine gun, and Qinglong squatting with the gun in the distance were all stunned. People, disappearing right before their eyes. There was no warning, not even a shadow. One person, just like that, he disappeared out of thin air in front of everyone. Absolutely ridiculous. Shot. Zhang Sha glanced around and saw no one, and immediately shouted angrily, I told you to shoot. Shoot. Shoot for me. The 2 machine gunners finally reacted and pulled the triggers in the garden clearing, where Qin Fei disappeared. Dong 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 dong. The 12.7mm firearm made a deafening dull roar. This kind of weapon is nicknamed mini cannon in the military field, which shows its terrifying power. The tiles on the floor can be shattered into pieces with one shot. In the garden land, a deep hole the size of a basketball can be blasted out with one shot. Seeing this, Qinglong in the distance cursed fiercely in his heart, asshole. What are you going to do? Her hand was now on the trigger, the gun pointed at the helicopter pilot. For a while, she couldn't even decide whether to pull the trigger or not. Since joining the Dragon Group, she has never been as sad as she is today. No matter how difficult the battlefield is, just go for it. But now, she doesn't even have a chance to fight. Shooting in advance will only cause the bomb to detonate in advance. The steel balls wrapped in the bomb by the gangsters were enough to penetrate most armor. Humans are, after all, flesh and blood. Not to mention, Qin Fei didn't even wear a body armor. What to resist? While talking, the M2 heavy machine gun fired hundreds of bullets, but Qin Fei's figure was still invisible. What's even weirder is, Nan Binger also disappeared in front of Zhang Sha. An iron door in the villa was removed at some point. I don't know when, this door suddenly appeared in the iron cage, blocking Nan Binger. Bang, bang, Zhang Sha raised his hand towards the iron gate and fired 2 shots. Have to say, the doors in the villa are of good quality. The 3-layer steel plate, composite structure, and filled sound insulation material also weakened most of the power of the bullet. Even the sand eagle didn't penetrate it. What are you doing standing there in a daze? Scan for me. As soon as Zhang Sha finished speaking, he turned his eyes and immediately held down his men. Wrong. No, 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 no. Zhang Sha suddenly figured it out, and then shouted angrily, Fatian Emperor, you still want to save people now, right? Good. If I help you, I will let you die together. Let me take off. I'm going to blow up this fool. Buzz buzz. The pilot pulls the operating lever backward, and the helicopter turns on the afterburner and increases its height. Villa Garden. Inside an iron cage wrapped in layers. Woo. Nan Binger's eyes were red at the moment, with tears streaming down her face. Actually, there was nothing in front of her except the iron door. But she still knew. Fatian Emperor is here, right in front of her. He's really here. Nan Binger doesn't care about death at all now. All she knew was that her life was enough. She just wants Fatian Emperor to leave here safely. Bomb. She watched the other party tie him with her own eyes. At this moment, she could only helplessly and wildly shake her head. If you can't untie it, don't. It really can't be solved. That beast Zhang Sha had no intention of letting Nan Binger live from the very beginning. Qin Fei didn't intend to solve it. After carefully looking at the key routes and binding paths, he said softly, don't panic, you won't die. The next second, Qin Fei grabbed the key node of the bomb chain with both hands and pulled hard. Click. The bomb was torn off by him with brute force. But at the same time, the countdown to the bomb also freezes at this moment. Quick. Qin Fei's 2,000 points of agility, far exceeding human speed and reaction, finally came into play at this moment. The flash of lightning that tore off the bomb. While Qin Fei shook off the bomb, he turned sideways and held Nan Binger firmly in his arms. Boom. High explosive bombs exploded in the iron cage. Exploded behind Qin Fei. The powerful explosion power and shock wave directly hit the two people on the iron cage. 3-layer iron cage. A gaping hole had already been torn out by Qin Fei just now. At this moment, under the power of the bomb, it was completely torn apart on the spot. Puff puff. Qin Fei's body was at the center of the explosion and was hit by an unknown number of steel balls. Such a close range of ultra-intensive attacks has nothing to do with agility and dodge. It is impossible to dodge. Ding dang dang. Under the dual effects of explosion and shock wave, the steel balls blasted around indiscriminately. Moment. The carefully constructed gardens fell into ruins. Even the helicopter hanging in the sky was hit several times by marbles. Ha 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 ha. Still want to defuse bombs. Am I that stupid again? Zhang Sha held her cell phone and laughed wildly. I said I would kill you, so I will definitely kill you. Not only will I kill you, I will also kill your whole family. It's such a pity that you died too early. I wanted to play with you for a while longer. Snort. Zhang Sha glanced around the broken garden with disdain, and patted the driver with satisfaction. Let's go, I will take you to have a lot of fun on the cruise tonight. The words were not spoken yet. All I heard was a bang. A bullet was fired from nowhere and penetrated the side windshield of the helicopter. Phew. The helicopter pilot didn't say a word and was shot in the head on the spot. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Zhang Sha's face was covered with blood. Just as he was about to curse, he heard the garden creaking. Look down. All I saw was a man bathed in blood. Use both hands. The twisted stainless steel cage was torn open abruptly. His back reflected starlight in the sunlight. Those are steel balls wrapped around a bomb. His arms and thighs were each penetrated by an iron pillar as thick as a finger. But he seemed to be fine and pulled out the iron pillar casually. Phew. The bright red blood spurted out, but it could not dye any red on his body. Because there is no place on his body that is not stained with blood. Flying Emperor. Zhang Sha's pupils and heart trembled at the same time, and her eyes couldn't help but reveal a look of fear. Are you still human? In the live broadcast room. All the audience were dumbfounded. What the hell? Anchor, are you serious? Whoever dares to say that this explosion effect and blood spraying effect are fake will bet my life on him. Is Fatian Emperor a Superman? Dear me, when did Superman come out in real life? Why didn't I know? Hey, this is not a game. Batman would die from such a powerful bomb, how could he not die? I wipe it. Someone seemed to have mentioned the feedback attribute before, could it be said that it is an attribute boundary-breaking stone? It seems that Fatian Emperor got this thing right. Hiss. Could it be said that the attributes among the gods can be brought into reality? Then the Fatian Emperor suddenly disappeared just now. It must be a skill, right? Yes, that's right, bro. Sneak. He is an assassin, so he must be able to sneak. Moreover, he just got the skill boundary-breaking stone. A game that is promoted unanimously by all countries can actually reflect attributes and skills into reality. I just sold 70,000 to 80,000 yuan worth of equipment this morning. Who can give me back the equipment? I won't sell it anymore. If I had told you earlier, if I had told you that I could be a Superman, I wouldn't even be in the class. Liver. Just give me liver. This time, I'm going to become a god. Villa Garden. After the pilot died, the auxiliary personnel on the helicopter barely controlled the flight attitude and were trying their best to raise the height of the fuselage. Zhang Sha doesn't care about this at all, he only hates. Fatian Emperor, wait, sooner or later, I will have to settle this debt between you and me. Pa. Qinglong climbed over the wall and entered the garden in a graceful manner. Are you okay? While talking, Qinglong took out the strengthening potion from his arm and handed it over. Bah. Qin Fei was not polite and directly pushed the medicine into his arm. Click. Muscle exertion. At the same time as the bones made a crisp sound, the steel balls embedded in the back were squeezed out by the muscles and fell off with a snap. Hiss. The brothel's eyes were stunned. How many points of physical fitness did you feedback? How many? Just 1700 points of constitution. After Qin Fei learned that there was a bomb, he knew that the matter was not easy to handle. I simply took a few dozen seconds while driving to eat all the physique-breaking stones before logging off. Watch now. Fortunately, he replenished his physique. Otherwise, even if he didn't die with 1,000 points of physique, he would at least be seriously injured. It just looks miserable now, but in fact the injury is not serious. The life value and physical fitness that are over 100 times that of ordinary people are no joke. And, I don't know what Qinglong's injection of medicine just now was. I can only say that the effect is a bit strong. Qin Fei could even feel that the injuries to his internal organs and muscles were recovering rapidly. Whoosh whoosh. Zhang Sha's helicopter circled in the air several times and finally stabilized its height and attitude. Seeing this, Qin Fei changed hands and pushed Nan Binger to Qinglong. Leave it to you. Huh, what else do you want to do? Qinglong asked in confusion. They won't be able to fly for long, air support will be here soon. Qin Fei ignored him. How could he have the time to play hide and seek with a beast like Zhang Sha? Use force on your feet. The whole person flew out with a whoosh. Thump, thump, thunk. Take 3 steps onto the roof of the villa. Qin Fei's speed reached the limit, almost leaving an afterimage behind him. Boom. Qin Fei kicked his legs with all his strength, and his whole body instantly rose into the air. In Qinglong's horrified eyes, Qin Fei flew over 100 meters in the air and crashed into the helicopter cockpit. For a while, Qinglong didn't even know whether to be shocked or confused. The world has changed. The gods came out. An ace agent like her has turned into a rookie. In the live broadcast room, once again, the audience was so shocked that they dared not breathe. First perspective. The feeling of oppression as I watched the Fatian Emperor accelerate, take off, and fly hundreds of meters to reach his eyes. Too strong. What the hell? This is a human being. The Third Brothers movies don't dare to be so exaggerated, right? Carry bombs with your body and tear apart helicopters with your hands. Mars. I declare that Fatian Emperor is the god of war. He is invincible. In the helicopter, Zhang Sha and the other 3 members all opened their mouths and froze in place. That look was like looking at God. You, don't move. Zhang Sha grabbed her phone in horror. I'm live broadcasting, you can't kill. Snapped. Qin Fei slapped the cell phone with one palm, and at the same time punched Zhang Sha directly on the head with his right hand. Boom. Zhang Sha's head exploded in the cabin, and the remaining 2 killers were dumbfounded. Don't kill me. We just use money to do things. It's all business. We have no grudge against you. Bang bang. Qin Fei punched everyone in the cabin with 2 punches, and then jumped off the plane without hesitation. Boom. The helicopter exploded behind Qin Fei. But he returned to the villa first, hammered away all the enemies inside, and then came to the back garden. Now, Qinglong still didn't react from the shock. Leave Nan Binger to me, and leave this place to you. As for the rest of the trivial matters, you don't need me to deal with it, right? It is impossible for Qin Fei to let Nan Binger live outside again. Although she had no relationship with him before. But Zhang Xia doesn't think so, and people from other forces certainly don't think so either. So, in order to avoid kidnapping from happening again, we can only let Nan Binger live with him temporarily. There is Bai Li's military protection there, as well as members of the dragon group like Qinglong. Except for military bases and underground fortresses, it is almost the safest place. Qinglong shook his head slightly. Let's go back together, I won't deal with this kind of thing. Well, Nan Binger was carried into the car by Qin Fei before the tape on her mouth was loosened. Although her eyes were full of happiness, she couldn't speak and was very anxious. Qin Fei is not in a hurry. Until the villa. Then the tape on Nan Binger's mouth was torn off. Are you okay? Qin Fei said bluntly. It was really not my intention to drag you into this kind of trouble. But, it's not safe for you outside, so you'll stay here for the time being. When the matter is over, I'll find someone to make arrangements for you. Aha! Nan Binger shook her head like a rattle, and said with tears in her eyes, it's okay, I'm fine, it's just your injury. It's not a big problem. Qin Fei told the truth. It's really not a big problem. Whether it was a penetrating injury or a pit made by a steel ball, it had already formed a scab. As for the internal organs, Qin Fei's breathing is full of energy now, and there will be no problems. Real-life potion effects. Why do you feel like it's a little too good? But, healing medicine. It's really the best. 1,000-year-old wild ginseng, which has proven its worth, is not only flesh and bones, but it can make you live with just one breath. Qin Fei's physical constitution is incredible. Natural recovery ability can heal all injuries. Will do the trick. The medicine is just a little faster. As for the special medicines of the dragon group, it is normal for them to be more effective. Go and wash up. There is a bathroom downstairs. I didn't bring any clothes. Nan Binger looked at the blood-stained clothes on her body, feeling a little embarrassed. Etc. Qin Fei took Nan Binger upstairs and took a shirt and casual pants from his bag. The clothes have been washed, but they are a bit old. It's okay. Nan Binger happily took the clothes. Then I'll take a shower. Qin Fei pointed to the bathroom. You can use this one, I'll go downstairs. No, just use it. Nan Binger didn't give Qin Fei a chance to refuse, and pushed Qin Fei into the bathroom. Sniff sniff. Nan Binger held the shirt and sniffed it twice. When her beautiful eyes looked at the bathroom door, a blush flashed across her cheeks. Ha! Qin Fei let out a long breath and let the shower wash away the blood on his body. Although the wound no longer hurts. But what happened today is really very dangerous. Although the killer hired by Zhang Xia looks fierce, he is still an ordinary person and not a well-trained agent. Except for the 2 heavy machine guns, the rest is not considered military equipment. That's all. It caused a lot of pressure on myself. If the properties are a little worse, Nan Binger is almost certain to die, and even he will at least be seriously injured. If they were all replaced by agents, and a bunch of high-tech equipment was added, the result would be even harder to predict. We'll be online later. You must first ask Asiat how to obtain the boundary-breaking stone. Crunch. The door behind him was carefully pushed open. Qin Fei returned home and relaxed, but he didn't pay attention. Until a pair of soft and warm kisses touched the back, and then I realized that Nan Binger had sneaked in without knowing when. I want to help you. Nan Binger summoned up her courage, but her voice became smaller and smaller. Looking at the scars on the man's back in front of her and the craters left by the steel balls, her heart ached. Does it hurt a lot? No. As soon as Qin Fei opened his mouth, he felt a warm numbness coming from the wound. Nan Binger felt the faint smell of blood coming from the tip of her tongue, and tears fell involuntarily. Stop talking, let me do it, okay? Hiss. Beautiful country, Pentagon. Holder's face turned dark. Where's the plan you agreed on? Isn't Fatian already dead? Where are the people? The staff under him were so frightened that their legs were shaking. General, we are really not to blame for this matter. As soon as Nanbinger was locked, she was taken away by a group of unknown forces from the Dragon Kingdom. As a result, snapped. Holder put the report on the big screen. The result is that the Fatian Emperor swept away the unknown forces by himself, performed a hero's rescue of the beauty in front of tens of millions of viewers, and at the same time exposed the fact of his attributes to the world. Ah, that's probably the case. Roll. Holder scolded directly. A few bad guns, a homemade bomb, and a group of gangster killers who don't even count three-legged cats were called unknown forces by you. I thought it was all members of the Dragon team dispatched. Pick the person up. General, the M2 is our mainstream heavy machine gun, and I don't care about the power of the bomb. It's a serious high-explosive TNT. Holder's eyes widened. What do you want to say? Are you trying to tell me that your equipment is not as good as his, your bombs are not as strong as his, and even if people are captured by you, the Fatian Emperor will still sweep away? Well, General, you know that it is difficult to get equipment in the Dragon Kingdom. In our hurry, it is indeed a bit difficult to use. Holder is going mad. The subordinates took a look and said quickly, but General, don't worry, Fatian Emperor has now revealed his identity, and we have also traced the address. The next plan is guaranteed to be foolproof. Snort. Holder shouted. If it can't be completed, I won't have to tell you the result, right? At the same time, Dragon Kingdom base. Dongfang Zan was also scolding. What are you doing for food? You don't know about such a big thing from beginning to end. The 800 million netizens on Douyin knew about it earlier than me. War Commander, Muju was present at the time. What can we do? Yes. Dongfang Zan became angrier as he spoke, gritting his teeth and saying. You were beaten to the punch by the Dragon Group. You guys have given me this huge advantage. It's just trash. Everyone, collectively get a demerit. If something like this happens again, please wait for military justice. Yuhu Villa. Phew. Qin Fei took a breath and dragged Nanbinger behind him under the shower. Nanbinger let out a low cry in shock, but her eyes couldn't stop peeking. Don't be ridiculous, I didn't save you because of that, do you understand? Everything Qin Fei said is true. Nanbinger's appearance and figure are superb in both games and reality. After all, she is an official anchor, so how can she be compared to those internet celebrities who will die in public without their beauty? This scene now, it's impossible for a man to say that he doesn't have feelings. Not to mention, after Qin Fei experienced a battle, medicine full of adrenaline was still flowing in his body. He just doesn't want to make the relationship too complicated. The relationship in this villa is complicated enough right now. Before, he is indifferent, but now that you and the people around you are in danger, there is no need to drag people in for no reason. Clear. Nanbinger nodded heavily and said seriously. But, I hope you can understand that whether you come today or not, I will not change my mind. You may think that I am ruining myself, but all this is what I want. For you, everything is possible. Qin Fei was momentarily speechless. But Nanbinger opened her heart and said bluntly. Even if you ask me to go out now, I will listen. But, I just want to help you relieve your pain, can't I? I know the girls around you are all beautiful. Maybe I can't compare to them, but I don't want to compare with them, let alone anything. I just want to be by your side and help you to the best of my ability. If you don't need me, I can leave at any time. Nanbinger said it easily, but only she knew how fast her heartbeat was now. Hey, Qin Fei sighed softly, then stretched out his hand to press her on his chest. I know. Boom. Outside the bathroom door, there was a knock on the door suddenly. Qin Fei, I brought you your Dragon Team work permit and a report. Please sign it by the way. The soft female voice is extremely weak, as if she would dare to cry to death as long as others refuse. Such a voice is really strange. But there are no outsiders in the villa. Except for Qinglong's self-study, no one will enter the room and knock on his door, right? Qinglong, wait for me. Qinglong followed. Is your injury okay? Qin Fei. No. Qinglong was still worried. Sorry, I have to confirm my responsibilities. Can I come in now? Puff. Qin Fei almost spat it out and said quickly, it'll be ready soon. Wait for me downstairs. Okay, Qinglong replied. Call. Qin Fei sighed secretly. This guy, after meeting me once, he really regards me as a vegetable market. Tisk. The towels were gone. The clothes were also covered in blood and were thrown into the trash can. Qin Fei opened the door and came out. Inside the room, I saw Qinglong unloading his equipment, wearing a combat vest, resting his hands on the edge of the bed, crossing his legs leisurely, staring straight at himself. Handsome features as sharp as a knife or an axe. There is 9 points of heroism in the exquisite beauty. Such a temperament is truly superb. Surprisingly, with such a temperament, she has a voice that is so weak that it is suffocating. Depend on. None of this is the key. The key is why she is here. Qin Fei raised his eyebrows and gritted his teeth. Didn't I tell you to go downstairs? Qinglong's eyes were clear. He straightened his back and stood up, took 2 steps forward, looked at it carefully and said, "Well, your body is indeed different. Such a serious injury is almost healed in the blink of an eye." 3 black lines appeared on Qin Fei's forehead. "Get out." "No hurry, no rush." Qinglong read the front side, then looked at the back, and kept testing it up and down with his hands. "Well, it's really no problem." Depend on. Qin Fei didn't expect that he could be taken advantage of. "Hey, if you don't go out, don't go out." "Okay." Qinglong agreed readily, turned over and threw himself on the bed. "I squatted on the roof all night, my legs are numb." "You'd better tell me in detail about squatting on the roof all night." Qin Fei opened his eyes wide. "I'm sleepy, let me sleep for a while before we talk." Qinglong was really tired. The missions have not stopped in the past few days. I finally found Qin Fei. I thought I could rest, but the situation turned out to be more tense than before. It's good now. With Qin Fei's physical condition, even a bomb can't kill him, and with the 3 special reinforcement companies outside the villa, he really has to drop missiles to have a chance to kill him. She was finally able to relax completely. Aha! Tisk, tisk. Not even a minute after Qinglong lay down on the bed, he was already so comfortable that he didn't want to move. He clicked his lips twice and immediately fell asleep. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Fell asleep. Qin Fei was just about to pull her up, but then he thought about it and let it go. Turning around, he took out the last set of clothes from his bag and changed into them. The villa has 6 rooms in total. There was a room downstairs that Mr. Li didn't move up after he used it. Apart from myself and Lin Shichi, there is still 1 room on the 2nd floor that is temporarily assigned to Nan Binger. In this way, only 2 bedrooms remain on the 3rd floor. As for Qinglong, doesn't she like to squat on the roof of the building? Then let her continue to squat on the roof of the building. Return to the room. The Dragon Group's credentials are on the table, along with a report. Qin Fei took a quick look. Basically, it is the general process of destroying criminal organizations and gangs and killing more than a dozen criminals. Once you sign and report it, the matter will have nothing to do with you. Actually, even if Zhang Sha didn't live broadcast what happened today, he probably couldn't hide it. Foreign forces can always trace their origins based on explosions. But no matter what, the villa should be safe. After all, there are people from the military and the Dragon Group. Qin Fei glanced at Qinglong on the bed. Although the people in the Dragon Group are a bit unreliable, there are so many people in the military, so we can't let agents sneak in openly, right? The remaining problems are family and classmates. The family asked Bai Li to send someone to protect him. As for my classmates, try not to reply to messages. It's not that Qin Fei doesn't want to go back, but that it will be too dangerous for them if he goes back. You can't let the military send people to protect all your classmates, right? That's obviously unrealistic. To completely solve these problems, we still have to give those guys a tough blow. Qin Fei thinks it would be a good idea to call the Bone Demon to handle this kind of thing. But the Bone Demon cannot come to reality in the game. The boundary breaking stone has attributes first, then skills. The next one should be equipment or props, right? If it is possible, the first piece of equipment must bring out the best intentions of the thieves. Heart of Lady Luck, Bone Demon, Flying Mount, and a Temple of Absolution. Not too much. Only one equipment boundary breaking stone is enough. Ding dong. The military man rang the doorbell. Fatian Emperor, the game warehouse you ordered has been delivered. We have checked it and there is no problem. Good. Qin Fei agreed and asked Nan Binger to lead them to install the game warehouse on the 2nd floor. He went online to Lin Shichi's room. Return to the dead swamp. Qin Fei first sent a message to Yaoer. If she didn't come, he wouldn't have a mount either. Then there is Bai Li. Still no clue. Olawana is still alive. If we hadn't found her, I would have gone offline to help you. Dongfang Bai Li knew that something had happened to Qin Fei, so he would have to go offline to deal with it. But it happened that at this time, they discovered that he was seriously injured. Orana on the run. Qin Fei's eyes lit up. Then if you just open the door and go back, it's over. That's the problem. I don't know why, but the Stargate can't be opened. Ah, the Stargate, which can even travel through planes and ignores all space barriers, still sometimes cannot be opened. What about Asiat? Qin Fei said again. He seems to be restricted by the other party, and his condition is extremely unstable. Orana is also seriously injured, and her walking speed is very slow. Dongfang Bai Li bit her lip unwillingly. I got information from my father and knew that something had happened to Qin Fei, so I didn't dare to talk about the mission because I was afraid that he would be distracted. And, with Asiat here, she felt that she could still complete this simple task. But who knows? In the first battle, the opponent found a way to restrict Asiat. Thanks to killing the boss before and accumulating some magic stones, he has been able to hold on until now. If not, they were wiped out long ago. Give me the coordinates. Qin Fei picked up Yaoer, who had just come online, took a look at the coordinates, and set off immediately. The other side, Dongfang Bai Li supported the seriously injured Orauna and slowly sneaked in the swamp. Lin Shichi controlled the snowy griffin to hover in the sky, blocking the pursuit of enemies behind her. Teacher Horn, can you still persist? Asiat's soul and body were trembling violently, as if they would explode or go out at any time. He looked towards the darkness ahead, his expression looking extremely solemn. As that, dark canyon, it's too bad, the terrain of the swamp changed so much, we went the wrong way. Hey, Asiat sighed and shook his head helplessly. I didn't expect that I would meet the Gratis family in the swamp this time. It's normal if you think about it. The Empire is in such chaos that even the Azite defense line can be handed over to others. How can it not attract the covetous attention of neighboring countries? Speaking of which, Asiat paused for a moment. Go back, my soul body will inevitably return to hell after the explosion. When you find the soul magic stone above the epic level, you can try to summon me again. Remember, never try the dark summoning technique when I'm not around. Lin Shichi glanced at the enemy in the distance and could only ride the snow eagle beast to Bai Li's side. Orana, dressed in a battle armor of blazing red blood, just raised her head and glanced ahead, then shook her head and said, "You should have been allowed to go back long ago. There are flying mounts. If you leave now, you still have a chance." Phew. Orauna took a deep breath, managed to cheer up, and said solemnly to Bai Li, "After returning, go to the imperial capital immediately to find the third prince. This is our only chance, and the only chance for the Empire." Hearing this, Dongfang Bai Li turned around and said, "It's better to wait, Fatian Emperor will be here in a moment." Fatian Emperor, is he the hero who defended Aster? Orana was stunned for a moment, then her eyes were shocked and she said in shock, "No, don't let him come." After hearing this, Asiat immediately said, "Tell him to leave." Ahead is a dark canyon that no one below the legendary level can cross, and Gratis behind him has mastered the fundamental power of space. If he dies here, whoosh, Qin Fei dodged and landed next to several people. Who wants to die here? It's Teacher Horn, he's dying. When Lin Shichi saw Qin Fei, she quickly reminded Asiat, I am a dead person. If my soul and body are broken, I will return to hell at most, but you. Qin Fei opened his backpack and took out a magic stone. Is this enough? Asiat instantly became energetic. Soul magic stone, rare quality. You have such a thing, why? Qin Fei shrugged and said, I also want to be earlier. The key is that it was just played. Yeah, this is useful, give it to me. Lin Shichi ignored the politeness and immediately stepped forward to take the magic stone and crushed it into pieces. Click. Wisps of solid soul breath blended into Lin Shichi's body. Follow closely. Asiat's soul body has also been greatly improved, and his trembling soul has finally stabilized. It's so dangerous. I was almost taken away by the opponent's curse technique. Qin Fei only has a soul magic stone, and he really has no stock when it is used up. He can't let Asiat fall into this state again. Who is the enemy and what is the effect of the curse spell? The Curse of Spirits is a spell specifically used to deal with summons and spiritual bodies, but there are not many people in the Empire who learn it. Asiat explained. I was too careless. I didn't expect to meet a member of the Hutton Federation, let alone the legendary Gratis. At the same time, Dongfang Bailey explained the matter in the team channel. After Orana arrived at the defense line, she applied for reinforcements from the Empire and sent a letter to her family, requesting that the Flame Legion be mobilized to support the defense line. However, these actions not only provide no feedback. She herself also encountered a sneak attack by a master assassin on the defensive line. Without any support from the Holy See, there is no last resort. She could only accept Calloway's suggestion. Lure the snake out of its hole. Lure the secret assassin away from the defense line and ambush him to kill him. But after she came outside with more than a dozen commanders, she discovered that the snake that was let out of the defense line was actually herself. Facing the rebellion of his subordinate commanders and the ambush of master assassins. After desperately killing several commanders, she relied on her mount to break out of the ambush and fight her way to the death swamp. In the end, he managed to survive with the help of an extremely precious hidden magic stone inherited from his family. Dongfang Bailey said bluntly, if Asiat hadn't discovered the effect of the hidden magic stone and took action to break it, then we wouldn't have been able to find Orana even if we searched for another year. But, the enemy seems to have a way to track Orana. As soon as she appeared, we were immediately surrounded by the enemy. I thought that only a few Legion commanders and master assassins came, but when the battle started, I found out that the opponent was the Gratis family of the Hutton Federation. Gratis. Qin Fei just heard the name. Are they very strong? Asiat nodded and said, the Gratis family controls the most fundamental space power and is extremely powerful. Although Stargate teleportation can break through planes, within the space range of Apahia, Gratis sealing spell is obviously more powerful. Orana added, whether it's the Empire, the Hutton Federation, or the human kingdom further away. More than 90% of all space gems, space skills, teleportation scrolls, and various space props in circulation on the entire continent of Apahia come from Gratis. Their family wealth probably accounts for more than 90% of the entire Hutton Federation's wealth. When Qin Fei came, he thought it was just some Empire commanders who had killed some assassins and a few more demon heroes. But now I heard it turned out to be someone from the Hutton Federation. And, the spatial ability possessed by the opponent is terrifying. The so-called business. But food, clothing, housing and transportation. Space teleportation can be said to be the most ideal means of travel. Think about it. How rich must a power that controls the entire world of gods and more than 90% of the teleportation scrolls be? Wealth. Its power. Even Asiat has to suffer in their hands, which shows that the opponent's strength is deep. Speaking of which, Asiat seemed to have thought of something. The Gratis family has few members and has always only focused on commerce and business. It does not participate in ethnic disputes on the mainland, let alone fights between countries. It is clear, their participation in the hunt for Orana this time was definitely not a commercial act. Teacher Horn, what is the root power of space? Lin Shichi didn't understand at first and asked politely. Asiat thought for a while and asked, you should know that in ancient times, gods were in control of everything, right? Yes, Lin Shichi nodded. People at that time believed that all power in the world came from the gifts of gods. Asiat said slowly. Later people discovered that any power has its roots. People at that time believed that only gods could control the fundamental power. The root power has divine power and can completely suppress lower-level powers of the same attribute. It can be said, the existence of the root that is completely controlled is God. Even if it's just a part, it's enough to crush all other beings of the same type. Phew. Asiat let out a long breath, and a trace of yearning and hope flashed in his eyes. After the ancient times, the figures of gods gradually disappeared, and people gained more and more power. Even the Imperial Knowledge Association once mastered part of the root knowledge and root truth. It's a pity that both sources were inexplicably lost later. Since Gratis appeared in people's field of vision, it seems that he has always mastered the fundamental power of space. It seems that the Stargate cannot be deployed because it is suppressed by the opponent in space. With a thought in his mind, Qin summoned the dark vortex leading to the temple. This should also be space power, right? When Asiat saw this scene, his soul was shocked. The only thing that can still be used in the current forbidden state of this space is, only the power of the god level is possible. Hiss. Asiat felt the fluctuations in the dark vortex. No, definitely not a demigod. At least an angel, or someone with power above the level of a sub-artifact, would be able to do this. And to do it so easily, I'm afraid only God. Asiat is going crazy. It wasn't the first day he met this young man, but how could he easily take out something he had never seen in his whole life? Even in a dream, he doesn't even dare to hope to master the divine weapon. Qin secretly thought it was reasonable. After all, it is the temple of the absolution. No matter what kind of god he is, he must be a god, right? Close the temple entrance. Qin is already sure. The mission to find Orana will not fail as long as it is guaranteed by the Temple of Absolution. Amazing. Just pack them up and stuff them into the temple, and then sneak away by yourself. Qin continued. I didn't tell you about the boundary breaking stone when I asked you last time. Now I have to know how to get it. Is it still a boundary breaking stone? Asiat didn't know why the other party was here. Another world was not something he could go to now. Wrong. He has an artifact in hand, where can't he go? But whether there are any specific gains is another matter. He said simply, there are very few ways to obtain the boundary breaking stone. The most important thing is to go to the Void Sea, look for alien monsters in the gaps between the many planes, kill them and then refine them. The easiest way is to go to the major associations, major families, and the Empire or the Holy See warehouses to find them. They should all have them in stock. Asiat must remind you, to go to the Void Sea, you have to start from the west coast and pass through the territory of the Kraken. Those unreasonable guys strictly prohibit any race from going to the Void Sea. Without the Kraken's permission, you need at least the strength of a peak legend to cross safely. As for the alien monsters, honestly, when I teamed up with a few friends, I only managed to kill 3 or 5. In just 2 battles, all of us were injured. If it weren't for the fact that the Stargate could still be opened in the Void Sea, no one would have come back alive from that adventure. So strong. The Sage led the team at its peak, but after only 2 games, it was hammered into a pig's head by an alien monster. Qin thought, as expected, it is easier to rummage through warehouses within the Imperial forces. Orana on the other side heard something more and more wrong. It would be fine if this summoned spirit had more knowledge, but he actually said that he had been to the Void Sea. She had only seen that place in the family library. Never been. No one would even mention that kind of place. You just said that you can open the Stargate. Orana was even more confused. Isn't that a super long distance teleportation skill that only the former guardian of the Empire, the Sage Asiat, can do? Having mastered so much knowledge, I can easily break the hidden magic stone. As a spirit, I can survive for so long after being hit by a curse that almost kills me. Olawana's delicate body was shocked and she exclaimed. You are not a sage, are you? My name is Horn, I'm just a mage who unfortunately died. Asiat's face was already dark, and now it is even darker. Orana didn't believe it and wanted to speak, but several figures appeared out of thin air not far away. The leader is a young man, whose whole body exudes golden treasure. It seems that every piece is of epic level. His buttons, cuffs, belt, and boots are all inlaid with gems of various colors. Just looking at the equipment, it's just extraordinary. But some obviously useless accessories are decorated with rare level gemstones, which is really pure luxury. On the right is a white-haired old man with a somewhat shaky figure. It wasn't that he was unsteady on his feet. Instead, the light around him seemed to be distorted and a little shaky. Finally, there is a warrior with heavy armor and a golden giant sword. Victor Gratis, Dongfang Bailey whispered in the team channel. Since the beginning of the war, he has not taken action, and his abilities and equipment are all unknown. Descartes on the left is a space warrior. He has a terrifyingly lethal space slash, as well as a shuttle slash that can teleport. Be careful. Any blow he makes within the visual range may hit. The most difficult one is Hera, a heroic space mage who has a wealth of spells. A Siat is restricted by his spirit blocking technique. Just a team of 3 people. However, no one dares to underestimate it. This is the advantage of mastering space. A warrior will teleport. How do you want the other warriors to play? Qin Fei felt outrageous. Not to mention others. Miss Olawana, you should know that I have no intention of harming you. Why do you keep refusing my help? Victor's facial features were sharp and angular, and his pair of golden eyes looked calm and gentlemanly. What could not be concealed was the indifference and aloofness deep in his pupils that came from a deep family background. As if, except for the things he cares about, no one or anything can move him. Stop dreaming. I won't marry you. Orana frowned and shouted in a deep voice. Gratis conspiracy to destroy the empire will never succeed. The wise third prince will not punish the entire Phoenix family because of some of your tricks. Hee. Victor smiled freely. Beautiful lady, I think you misunderstood. If Gratis wanted to acquire the Federation or the Holy Empire, he could have done it 1,000 years ago. There is no need to wait until now. Hearing this, Asiat said directly, Young Gratis, has no one warned you not to brag in front of the old man? Puff. Qin Fei burst out laughing. 1,000 years ago, captured the empire. Good guy, you clearly don't regard the Imperial Guardians as human beings, right? If he has a brain cramp, a demigod can seal it for you, let alone a family. But, why does this guy feel like he's here to propose marriage? Qin Fei said directly to Bai Li, have you changed your mission? Share it with me. Drop. The mission of the missing Legion commander has been completed. Please return to the Legion to receive the reward. Drop. You have obtained the hidden mission emergency military information. Goal 1. Deliver Orana's autographed letter to the third prince of the Holy Empire. Rewards. Reputation x 10,000, gold coins x 10,000, epic treasure chest x 1. Goal 2. Escort Orana back to the Empire and meet the third prince of the Holy Empire. Reward. Unknown. 2 goals. Even if Orana dies, it can still be completed. Is this what you mean? Qin Fei said puzzledly. Is it because the difficulty is too high and it's obvious that he can't be saved? It's really difficult. The ability of the space system is too abnormal, and Asiat is restricted by the opponent's curse technique. Dongfang Bailey nodded and confirmed. The most annoying thing is that you can't run away, no matter what mount you are on. It's impossible to teleport through their space. More than an hour of struggle. She was already stretched numb by the other party. The skill cannot hit at all. However, your opponent's sudden sword attack can appear by your side at any time. Not an assassin, but it feels more difficult to deal with than an assassin. But now that you are back, if you can hold them back, then I will have a chance to escape from the ban and expand the Stargate to return to the city. Dongfang Bailey still wants to challenge the unknown reward. The rewards for not saving people include tens of thousands of gold coins and epic treasure chests. If it is to save people, maybe there is a legendary treasure chest or a holy relic treasure chest. After all, it is the person who gives the reward. But the third prince of the Holy Empire. With such an important task, you can't be stingy, right? Qin Fei raised his eyebrows and unsheathed the sword on his waist. If there is anything to delay, kill him first. Hey. When Victor saw this, he sighed to himself and said calmly, move quickly, don't hurt Miss Orana. Okay, sir. Before he finished speaking, the golden giant sword in Descartes' hand had already been chopped down. Whoosh. The piercing golden sword energy was almost 3 meters high and looked particularly dazzling in the dark swamp. The next second, the golden sword energy disappeared out of thin air and appeared directly beside Qin Fei. Dodge. Phew. Ha 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 ha. Qin Fei couldn't help but laugh and said, Space Flash, that's it. Descartes' eyes suddenly brightened, and he said fiercely, ignorant imperial soldiers, how dare they be so rampant? Shangguan Yao immediately became unhappy after hearing this. He stretched out his hand to bend his bow and draw an arrow, and immediately 3 elemental arrows shot out. Boom. Hera's staff on the other side suddenly hit the ground. Follow closely. 3 elemental arrows passed through Victor and the others without any obstruction. As if, the 3 of them are just air and do not exist at all. Space barrier. Almost perfect absolute defense. Asiat said solemnly, to break this kind of defense, there are only 2 ways besides space-based skills. One is the attack frequency after infinite superposition, and the other is the power that is infinitely close to the gods. Before Qin Fei came, the two sides have been fighting for an hour. Hera was also very interested in this dark spirit. As a soul, you know a lot. You should have been a member of the Imperial Knowledge Association when you were alive, right? Ha, it's a pity that the people in the Empire are too incompetent and cannot understand the power of knowledge. Mages from the continent of Epahia, even if they are not from the Empire, will join the Knowledge Association. A space mage is also a mage. You must learn other spells in the association to enrich your knowledge and skill reserves. When Asiat heard this, he was aroused and became angry. The Knowledge Association back then was founded with the help of the Empire. At its peak, it mastered root knowledge and root truth. If you mages from outside the Empire hadn't interfered with it, split the association, and stolen a large number of magic skills and books, how could the association's strength be weakened later, so that the association could not compete with the Holy See and the Star Moon Alliance? Ha ha. The wrinkles on Hera's cheeks twitched slightly, her eyes were arrogant and she said hoarsely, I didn't expect you to know these past events. But what you don't know is that the reason why the association split is because of the Empire's incompetence. If the Pope hadn't taken away the root truth, not only would you not be able to discover the mystery of the truth, but you might even lose it completely. What? Asiat's soul and body suddenly shook. Are you a member of the Truth Sect? Boom. Asiat's whole body was ignited with the flames of hell, and he was filled with anger. Okay. It was indeed you beasts who stole the root truth back then. Asiat was really angry. At that time, the Knowledge Association was at its peak. The number of legendary mages in the association was once the highest in the entire Epahia continent. Even the Holy See of Light, which had just descended from an angel, did not dare to point fingers at the association. Other forces such as the Star Moon Alliance are extremely afraid of the association and dare not provoke it. But the root knowledge that should have been kept in the deepest part of the association's warehouse was suddenly and inexplicably lost. Such a change. Just let all the top management of the association get into a fight. In the next few years, it directly evolved into a split in the association. The huge association that originally spanned the continent of Epahia was directly split into 5 branches. The Empire Branch, the Federal Branch, the Kingdom Branch, the Demon Branch, and the Forgotten Branch that exists independently and does not involve any country or force. The former legendary mages each led their members to leave, taking with them a large number of exclusive skills and unique books in the association. As the former headquarters, the Imperial Association suffered the most after the split. Among the 5 major parts, it has become the bottom. Even the root truth was completely lost in the chaos of division. At that time, Asiat was still young and had just been promoted to legend. Being young and frivolous, he teamed up with a few friends and broke through the Kraken territory and reached the Void Sea. As a result, within a few battles, the team was almost wiped out by alien monsters. What's even more tragic is, when he first returned to the Empire and was about to seek help from his teacher, the entire Knowledge Association fell apart. Even his teacher, the previous guardian of the Empire, the Great Sage, and the Starry Sky Saint Faila, whose strength and level had reached the level of demigod, also completely disappeared in the chaos, and their whereabouts are unknown. Asiat has been looking for it for hundreds of years. Finally, all clues and spearheads point to the mysterious mage who founded the Church of Truth 100 years later and was a member of the legendary mage in the association. It's him, taking advantage of the chaos to steal the root truth. It's him too. In the chaos, he used the root truth to launch a sneak attack and seriously injured the teacher. Otherwise, a semi-god level Starry Sky Saint, holding the root truth in his hand. That kind of unexplainable powerful strength and terrifying power can destroy a city at a glance. With one move of annihilation, everyone below the angel will die. Even an angel will be seriously injured by the truth. Such strength, who can resist? Who can compete? How could she disappear mysteriously for no reason? Only truth. Everything. Only the despicable traitor who stole the root truth could do it. Boom. The angry Asiat almost blasted Hera with all the hell flames wrapped in anger. But an invisible space barrier separated the flames from the 3 people without any fancy. No matter how the flames of hell rage, let everything around you turn into dust. Only space remains unchanged. Only 3 people were not injured. The other side. Orana's pupils widened, and Jungyi said solemnly, as the sole inheritor of the starry sky holy law, don't you still admit that you are the sage Asiat? Oh, Victor's golden eyes suddenly showed a hint of amusement. The dark spells used by this Empire Guardian are quite skillful. Interesting, really interesting. Ding, Orana's heart trembled. The excitement of finding the sage was extinguished in an instant. Qin Fei was also speechless. What about hiding your identity? Your violent spouting is comparable to a self-destructing truck. Qin Fei shook his head helplessly. This time I helped you kill people and silence them. Next time you won't blow yourself up randomly, okay? Ah, what surprised Orana was not the confirmation of the sage's identity, but the fact that this new imperial hero really wanted to be a hero. The space barrier is invincible at the same level. As for that archmage, I think even if he is not a legend, he is at least level 130 or above. Qin Fei didn't take action before because he wanted to see his space skills. Otherwise, if you don't have experience, you will suffer a loss if you go up. As a result, Asiat said that the space barrier can be broken through attack speed and attack frequency. What a fart, on attack speed and attack frequency. That's really a demigod without any falsehood. Oh he. Hera laughed wildly. Sage Asiat, as expected of a person born in a decadent empire, it is natural that the knowledge association under your leadership has plummeted. As for this ignorant young man, he is probably your apprentice, right? Snort. Ignorant and arrogant. It's just like when you shouted slogans about unifying the association and killing traitors, but in the end you couldn't even get through the door of my truth sect. You two are really equally ignorant and equally arrogant. Click, boom. Asiat's soul was about to explode. He was not blown up by the cursed spirit technique, but he was blown up by anger. Back then, he was young and energetic. I have indeed sworn to inherit the teacher's legacy, complete the unification of the knowledge association, retrieve the fragments of root knowledge and root truth, and finally move towards eternal knowledge and truth. Pity. That's all the energy of youth. He didn't understand until he became the president. There are more legendary mages in the other branches than in the Empire, and they are also stronger than him. As for the mysterious truth sect, even the address cannot be found. Even if there were a few members of the truth sect who occasionally showed up, the mysterious spells they mastered that were completely different from the knowledge system made him extremely afraid, and it was really difficult to kill and capture them. Boom. Qin Fei pushed horizontally with one hand, and hundreds of flying blades shot out instantly. Swish swish. Facing the space barrier. Whether it is the frost spear carrying elements, the night battle, or the pain shield with the ability to counterattack, there is no way to cause any ripples in that space. Qin Fei didn't panic and continued to throw out the flying blade. 200, 300, 400, 500. With its superb attack speed, the stack of flying blades was already full in just a few breaths. Now, Hera's hazy eyes were finally touched. Flying blade attack. It seems that he also has several pieces of equipment with special properties. It's a pity that this number of flying blades alone can't break the space barrier at all. Hera said it easily, but the white light of the staff in her hand became brighter and brighter. Whoosh whoosh. The flying blade galloped in the darkness, as fast as lightning and as if it were a stream of light. Originally, the speed of thrown objects is linked to agility. After Qin Fei's second turn, the dagger of innocence is increased by another 50%. Such a terrifying speed cannot be captured by the naked eyes of ordinary people. After all, the flying blades are stacked. Qin Fei kicked his foot, jumped and slashed, and came directly in front of Hera without any scruples. The next moment, more than 500 flying blades streamed directly towards Qin Fei's chest, and even hit the space barrier. There is no stagnation. Qin Fei pushed out with both hands. Boom. 500 flying blades blasted out again the moment after the bombardment barrier returned. For a moment, Qin Fei completed the 2 attacks of the flying blade. And all of them are in a state of full flying blades of more than 500. Hiss. Hera's pupils trembled suddenly. More than 500 flying blades were shot in a stack just now, and crossing the space barrier just put a little pressure on him. But now, so many flying blades, after returning from changing positions on the opposite side, were superimposed on top of each other in an instant, bombarding the barrier at the same time. This can no longer be called pressure. But cramps. Buzz buzz. The space barrier was like glass, vibrating and humming as it was about to break. Ah! Hera gritted her teeth, almost tearing off the wrinkles on her old face, and all her magic power poured into the staff crazily. Only then could he barely withstand the two-part terror attack. Ha! Isn't this okay? Qin Fei raised the corner of his mouth and said softly. I haven't contributed yet. The skills are used well, and the equipment is also okay. Victor commented briefly, without any trace of panic in his eyes, still so cold, arrogant and disdainful. Pity. It would be too naive to try to fight against space just by relying on this thing. While talking, a beautiful magic stone, as bright as a diamond, appeared out of thin air in Victor's palm. Space magic stone. Asiat's eyes were shocked. Looking at the number of slices, it is at least legendary level. The legendary space magic stone. Whether it is legend or space magic stone, Qin Fei and others have never seen it before. Now combine the two. It was so rare that even Orana had only heard about it a few times during bragging at noble cocktail parties. So precious. Once a magic stone of this level appears in the imperial capital, it will immediately be scrambled by countless nobles and major associations. Legendary magic stone. Strong men in all professions will need it. This is something used to strengthen and improve and save lives in battle. The space magic stone is the most powerful and comprehensive among all life-saving magic stones, and of course it is also the most expensive. Its price at auction is so high that it can even bankrupt a legendary professional. Click. With the gentle force of Victor's palm, the space magic stone suddenly disintegrated. 1024 dimensions of space wrap the three victors from 1024 angles. Ding! There was a crisp vibration. The space barrier in front of everyone suddenly became extremely stable, like a perfect diamond created by the gods. Good. Qin Fei smiled knowingly. Fight with zeal. Violent. After all the skills after being promoted to a powerful level or maxed out, Qin Fei's attributes will be doubled. Boom. Qin Fei pushed horizontally with both palms and once again launched hundreds of flying blades. Swish swish. The moment the flowing light flying blade penetrated the space barrier, it was refracted by the space barrier like light. This time, Qin Fei finally saw clearly the effect of the barrier. Each section of the barrier is equivalent to an independent space. Each independent space can withstand an almost unlimited amount of damage. The legendary space magic stone has more than 1,000 facets. Coupled with Hera's own spatial ability. That is an absolute barrier that is almost impossible to break through. Young man, you have to pay a price for arrogance. Hera grinned proudly and mocked. Young people like you, with a little bit of rank and strength, think you are invincible, huh? Don't you know that the truly powerful people on the continent of Apahia don't even bother to look at you? When Victor heard this, he didn't take it seriously and scolded in a cold voice, Hera. Please pay attention to your words. Yes. Hera twitched the corner of her mouth and quickly stopped it. Victor turned to look at Qin Fei and said warmly, your strength is not enough to fight against the space, but among the garbage in the Empire, you can be regarded as one with fewer flaws. Kneel down. Victor put his hands behind his back and spoke calmly, as if it were natural, I can grant you the status of a guard of the Gratis family. Although it is only the lowest guard, this is already the greatest honor you can obtain. Puff. Ha ha ha. Qin Fei burst out laughing. Ahem. To be honest, among the idiots I have seen, you are definitely not the most idiotic one. But if you can still be such an idiot when death is imminent, you can definitely be regarded as a single person. Hera suddenly became angry and shouted. Boy, do you know what an honor this is? Do you know how many legendary beings there are in the entire continent of Apahia who want to be Gratis's guard? Everything owned by the Knowledge Association, in front of Gratis, is just some garbage that can't even enter the warehouse. Kai, if you can be proud of being a dog, you can be considered a good dog. Qin Fei glanced lightly. Stop talking nonsense and wait to die. Qin Fei didn't want to say more, so he took out a powerful magic stone and crushed it, replenished the potion, and the magic value quickly recovered. Snort. Hera said respectfully. This man is so ignorant, please let me kill him to prevent the glory of the Gratis family from being tarnished. Victor didn't even look at Qin Fei and nodded slightly. Just a guard. One more or one less will have no impact on the Gratis family. It's not worth another word from him. Hera received permission, and her dim eyes couldn't help but become excited. Boy, even if you attack here for a year, you won't be able to break the barrier. And you're going to die here soon, so you might as well save some energy. Ha ha ha. Hera's withered right hand suddenly stretched out and shouted loudly, "Space is stagnant. Drop. You are affected by the opponent's skills. Your movement speed is reduced by 100%. Movement speed reduced by 100%. Qin Fei glanced at the panel subconsciously. Movement speed bonus. 4,110%. After reducing the bonus, there is still more than 4,000. You shouted so loudly, I thought it was so embarrassing. While talking, Qin Fei dodged and ran wildly, and hundreds of flying blades followed Qin Fei like flowing tail wings. Sneak. The speed soars again. Qin Fei finally felt the resistance. Not from space stasis, but it comes from the air. The running speed of more than 300 meters per second is already infinitely close to the sound barrier of 340 meters per second. Swish swish. Qin Fei quickly circled around Victor and the others as the center of the circle. In the blink of an eye, you can run more than 10 laps. The flying blade formed a halo around Victor and the others. Cut quickly. Nearly 600 flying blades, operated by Qin Fei, caused circular cutting damage to the space barrier at a frequency of dozens of times per second. Buzz. Following Qin Fei's high-speed rotation, the flying blade halo and space barrier began to vibrate slightly along with him. Buzz, 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 buzz. The frequency of the halo oscillation is getting higher and higher. At the same time, the amplitude of the fluctuations between the two is also getting larger and larger. Even the legendary space magic stone began to shake at this moment. What are you doing? Hera was stunned. He thought that the opponent had unleashed his full strength, and the attack frequency of thousands of times was the limit, the absolute limit that could not withstand the space barrier. But in a blink of an eye, the opponent actually changed his own speed and angle, forming a completely incomprehensible attack pattern. Is this geometric cutting or resonance? As a top student, Lin Shichi looked a little dumbfounded. The magical world. Can we play like this? Well, theoretically speaking, if there are waves in space, they will vibrate and form the same frequency, but... Asiat's eyes shone brightly and he exclaimed, okay. The frequency of flying blade attacks can be increased by speed and positioning, but many people don't have such a fast movement speed. Okay. If you were faster, you could chop up even the holy space magic stone. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The oscillations of the flying blade halo and space barrier became more and more violent. Hera's face became increasingly ugly. Descartes. Kill him. Quick. Ha. Qin Fei chuckled. I told you that I haven't contributed yet, why don't you believe it? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.